true Luna. I woke up early in the morning and got up right away. I was excited, really, really excited. Tomorrow is my birthday. Tomorrow I will be 18 and I will meet my wolf. I couldn't wait to shift for the first time. They say it is painful, but I didn't care about that part. It is just for a little while, and it gets easier later. I can survive a little bit of pain. I just wish that my parents were here to see me shift for the first time. It had been 8 years since they died, and it hadn't gotten any easier. They were killed in a rogue attack. Rogues are wolves that don't belong to a pack. They become rogues by being exiled from their packs for committing various crimes. Some of them choose to leave their packs and live like rogues. That is rare, though. We wolves are pack animals. We don't like being alone. When a wolf chooses to become a rogue, it is mostly because something bad has happened to them in their pack, or they have lost their mate, gone crazy, and left the pack. The rogues live alone. They don't work with other wolves. But when they attacked our pack, they were working together. It was very odd. Since that night, our alpha learned that there is a rogue wolf who has gathered other rogues to attack various packs. They call him the Rogue King. The attacks haven't stopped since. They attacked our and other packs multiple times. On the night of the attack, rogues tried to kill our alpha's son. We were celebrating his 18th birthday and his first shift. He was supposed to start his training to become a new alpha and take over the pack. However, that night, rogues killed his father, our former alpha, Luke. He was forced to become an alpha right away, and he did an amazing job. He finished his training early and he made our pack one of the strongest ones. My father was Alpha Luke's beta. He and my mom died protecting Alpha, Luna, and their son. That was their job. After their deaths, my brother Andrew became beta. He and our alpha had been best friends since childhood, and now they run our pack together. My brother is an amazing beta, and an even better brother. He was 17 when our parents died, and after that, he had to take care of our pack and me. He never complained. He took those responsibilities and did the best he could. And he did great. He always made sure I was safe and taken care of. He still does. I finished high school a few months ago, and all I have to do now is train. After the attacks, my brother and our alpha decided that all pack members must train to be able to defend themselves. The rule in our pack is that we all must go through high school. It is something similar to a human high school, but we learn about werewolf and pack history, pack laws, and everything needed to help the pack function properly. For example, if a wolf is interested in working for alpha, he or she will learn a bit more about running the pack. If a wolf is interested in agriculture, he or she will learn about plants and our crops to help sustain our food supplies. If a wolf is interested in defending the pack, he or she will learn about defense techniques and attack formations, and they will have to spend more time training than the rest of us. I chose to help the alpha run our pack. It was natural to me. My brother is the beta, and I wanted to help him as much as I could. So I learned all about pack laws and everything else needed to successfully run our pack. The alpha, beta, and pack healer are the only ones who leave the pack to go train for their positions. They go to different packs where they learn everything needed for their positions in a pack. The training lasts for about a year. Considering our pack was attacked and our former alpha was killed, our new alpha and beta finished their training in only a couple of months. The pack needed them, and it had to be done quicker than usual. I missed my brother when he left, but I knew it was something he had to do. We have to train every day, but tomorrow I get a day off because it is my birthday and my first shift. It is a special occasion. The first shift is important because you get to meet your wolf and your mate. Mates are important in wolf culture. A mate is your special someone, picked by our moon goddess. It is the connection of two souls. Your mate becomes the most important thing to you. You love them instantly. You want and need to be with them and protect them. My brother still hasn't found his mate, and neither did our alpha. So until he does, his mother, Gloria, still has the Luna title and does the Luna duties. She had a hard time after her mate, our former alpha, passed away. She almost didn't make it. She didn't eat, sleep, or do anything. That is what happens when you lose your mate. Your will to live goes away. However, she recovered and she is an amazing Luna. I love her a lot. She helped me and my brother after our parents died, and she and I have a special relationship. She's like a mother to me. I asked her to be present for my first shift. She accepted and gave me a big hug. It is a big deal to be present for a wolf's first shift, at least in our pack. Each pack has its tradition, but in ours, only the wolves you choose get to witness your first shift, and it was an honor to be chosen. I chose my brother, Luna Gloria, and my friends Amy and Jacob. They were all honored and excited for me. I couldn't wait to shift. It will be amazing. And maybe I will be luckier than my brother and meet my mate soon. I had to go to training soon, so I brushed my teeth, took a quick shower, and got dressed. I put on my black tights, training bra, gray hoodie, and black Nike sneakers. I tied my long brown hair into a ponytail and went downstairs. I was unpleasantly surprised when I came downstairs. Sienna was standing in my kitchen looking at me like she wanted to kill me. She is my brother's and Alpha's best friend. She is 25, just like my brother and Alpha, and she has been hanging out with them since childhood. Now she is clinging on to them like they are a lifeboat. She was devastated when she found out that neither my brother nor Alpha were her mates. That didn't stop her from trying to become Luna. She is always around Alpha, proving herself and trying to convince him to take her as his chosen mate. Werewolves can do that. If their mate dies or they don't find their true mate, they can take a chosen one. It is frowned upon, especially in our pack, because we take mates very seriously. Most packs do, actually, but some have a milder attitude toward chosen mates. Sienna was tall, blonde, and perfect. Her makeup was always on point. Her hair was always combed and styled to perfection. But she destroyed all that with the way she behaved. She was bitchy, mean, and disrespectful. She hated me and treated me like I was trash. But only when we were alone. When we were around my brother or Alpha, she was a totally different person. She was nice to me, and she once told my brother that I was like a little sister to her. Yuck. I tried telling my brother about her, but he didn't believe me. He told me I was jealous of her and how much time they spent together. Sienna, I said coldly and grabbed a mug from a cupboard. Good morning, ugly, she said and smirked. It must be good to sleep as long as you do. Maybe you should try it too, I said as I poured coffee into my mug. You need as much beauty sleep as you can get. I turned towards her with a smirk on my face. She was pissed. You little bitch, she said through her teeth. I will become Luna soon, and I will exile you so soon you will not be able to blink. She always did this. She threatened to exile me when she would become a Luna. I knew she would actually do it, and I could only hope she didn't become a Luna. I wanted to say something back, but I heard the front door open. My brother and our Alpha walked into our kitchen. Sienna quickly put on the biggest fake smile on her face. I rolled my eyes. How didn't anybody see how fake she was? Good morning, little one, my brother said and kissed my forehead. That was his favorite nickname for me. I was small, smaller than any wolf my age, and he liked to point that out, especially because he was huge, 6'4", and had muscles all over his body, just like Alpha. We looked a lot alike. We both had brown hair and bright blue eyes. He was more tanned than me, though. I inherited my mom's pale complexion. I was out in the sun all the time, but I couldn't seem to get tanned. Good morning, Andrew. Good morning, Logan, I said and smiled. I get to call Alpha by his first name only in the privacy of our homes. On other occasions, I must refer to him as Alpha or Alpha Logan. Sienna didn't like that. She gave me an "I will kill you" look over their shoulders. "Good morning, Emma," Logan said as he sat at our kitchen table. "What are your plans today, Em?" Andrew asked as he poured coffee for himself and Logan. "Nothing much," I responded. "I have a training session in an hour, and then I will just hang out with Amy and Jacob." "Tomorrow is your first shift. Are you excited?" Logan asked me, and took his coffee mug from my brother. "Yes," I said and smiled brightly. "I can't wait to meet my wolf." "Maybe you will find your mate, Emma," Sienna said coldly, "and maybe we will lose you to him tomorrow." She gave a fake sad look to my brother. Goddess, they were so blind if they didn't see through her act. "Don't worry, Sienna," my brother said. "She will always be our little sister. No mate will take that away from us." I wanted to scream and throw up. She was not my sister. She was a fake bitch who couldn't wait to get rid of me. But I couldn't say anything, so I just gave him a fake smile. "After your shift, you can start working at a pack house," Logan said. "You went to high school to work at the pack office, right?" "I did," I said and smiled. "I can't wait to start working." "Good," Logan said and smiled. He was handsome, even more when he smiled. And that was rare. He was usually very serious and focused only on his job as an alpha. He always did what's best for his pack. That was why he was so successful. He was as tall and as muscular as my brother, maybe even more. The alpha and beta of the pack were always the strongest wolves, and it always showed. You could always see who alpha and beta were. He had dark blonde hair and green eyes. His jaw and his nose were chiseled perfectly, and his lips looked soft. He was hot. No wonder Sienna was all over him. She drooled after my brother as well, but being Beta's mate wasn't good enough for her. Although if my brother took her as his chosen mate, she would accept that as well. She was only after the title and power. Too bad they couldn't see that. A doorbell interrupted my thoughts. Jacob was here. "Is that Jacob?" my brother asked. I nodded and put the mug in the dishwasher. "I will see you tonight. Goodbye, Logan." "Sienna," I said, and gave my brother a kiss on the cheek. Logan smiled at me, and Sienna gave me a cold stare. Bitch. I walked out of the kitchen and opened the front door. My friend Jacob was standing there, smiling at me. I always had a crush on him. I still do. He is handsome, tall, muscular, and has black hair. His dark brown eyes look like a pool of chocolate. And I love chocolate. Sometimes I wish he would be my mate. We would be great together. And I know he likes me. He told me himself. We never dated or even talked about it. We saved ourselves for our mates. It isn't forbidden to have sex with others, but it is frowned upon, mostly by our pack elders. The rest of the pack agrees that we should wait for our mates, but turns away when they see someone dating outside of a mate bond. Not all of us saved ourselves for our mates, though. I know for a fact that my brother and Logan had their share of she-wolves. I think Logan even slept with Sienna, which only added to her belief that she would be his Luna. Jake and I never talked about it, but I think he slept with some she-wolves as well. Jacob is 22, but he still hasn't found his mate, so maybe he is mine, and I am his. I will not be happy to know that he slept around if he is my mate, but I don't want to hold his past against him. "Good morning, beautiful," he said, and gave me a kiss on the cheek. "Morning, Jake," I said, and closed the front door. "Are you excited?" he asked, and took my hand in his. "Yes, I am," I said with a big smile on my face. "I can't wait to shift." "It'll be amazing," he said. "You will be amazing. I am really honored that you asked me to be there." "Of course I did," I said. "You and Amy are my best friends. I want you there. Maybe I will be something else to you as well. he said and winked. I laughed. Maybe you will. We walked over to the training grounds together. Amy was already there, waiting for us. She's a year older than me, and we met at high school. She introduced me to Jacob. They are cousins. She and Jacob look a lot alike. She has the same black hair as he does. Her eyes are a little bit lighter than his, though. Well, if it isn't my two favorite wolves, she said and smiled brightly. Hello, Amy, Jake said and gave her a kiss on her cheek. She gave me a big hug. I can't wait to meet your wolf tomorrow, Emmy. Our wolves will be best friends, I just know it, just like we are. Oh, I am sure Alora will love my wolf, I said with a huge grin. Our wolves have their own names. Amy's wolf is named Alora, and Jake's is named Jared. I can't wait to learn my wolf's name. Enough chit-chatting, girls. Time to train. I will see you later, Jake said and walked over to his training ground. Jacob works as a patrol wolf, so he trains harder and differently than us. Patrol wolves train separately from the rest of us. Amy works at a greenhouse. She is amazing with plants. Jacob and I sometimes train together. He taught me a little bit about what they do at their training sessions. He said he wanted me to know as much as possible to be able to defend myself. He wanted me safe. After an hour and a half, we were done with our daily training session. Jake still had an hour left, so Amy and I went home to shower and change. We would meet at a diner we always went to. When I came home, Andrew was not there. He is out dealing with pack stuff. Being a beta is not like other jobs when you work from 9 to 5. There is always something to do, especially when your alpha is Logan. I quickly showered and changed into a pair of jeans, a white sweater, and my black Converse sneakers. I dried my hair and let it fall down to my waist. When I came to the diner, Amy was already sitting at our usual booth. Hey lady, she said, you look amazing. Thank you. I smiled. Not as amazing as you do. She is gorgeous, tall, skinny, but with curves in all the right places, and totally confident. All the boys want her. So tomorrow is a big day, she said, sipping her chocolate milkshake. Yes, I'm so excited. Maybe Jake will be your mate and we will be family, she said, with a big smile on her face. Or, I would love that, I said. You know I love Jake. He would be a great mate. And he is totally in love with you. She laughed. Most boys are, actually. What are you talking about? I said and frowned. The waitress brought me my strawberry milkshake and I thanked her before taking a sip. It is amazing. Come on, Emma, she said and rolled her eyes. You are beautiful and hot. I can't believe you never noticed the looks you're getting. It makes Jake totally jealous. I always thought they were looking at you, I said and smirked. Amy laughed. Well, they do, but I am not the only one they're looking at. I blushed and looked down at my hands. Well, I don't care. I will wait for my mate. And here he comes, Amy said and pointed at the door. Jake was walking in. He gave us a big smile and walked over to our booth. He sat down beside me and kissed my cheek. Hey girls, what are we talking about? He asked. Mates, Amy said with a huge grin on her face. I can't wait to revisit that topic tomorrow. Jake said and winked at me. I laughed and blushed. Okay, stop making me blush. Jake laughed and pinched my cheek. Why? There is no prettier sight. Okay, lovebirds, enough. Amy said and laughed. Emma, when are we meeting tomorrow? Well, I will have lunch with my brother and spend the day with him. And we will meet at the shift site at 8 p.m., I said. My brother and I have a tradition of spending our birthdays together. No other people, just him and me. We always have breakfast and lunch together. After that, we watch a movie and eat as much cake as we can. I love our tradition. Great. I can't wait to see if your wolf will be as small as you. Amy said and laughed. Jake joined her as I glared at them. You bitches. Oh, come on, Emmy, Jake said, laughing. We love how small you are. I frowned but joined their laughter. We spent the rest of the day talking, laughing, and making plans for our first run together. It was late when I came home, but Andrew was still out. I quickly showered, put on my pajamas, and got under my covers. I can't wait to see what's to come tomorrow. Good morning, Emma. I turned towards the door to greet my brother, but nobody was standing there. I am alone. But whose voice was that? It is me, silly. Your wolf. I flinched. Of course it is my birthday. I got my wolf today. It is weird, though, to hear a voice inside my head. You will get used to it, a voice said. It will take some time. I responded. We have all the time in the world. My wolf said. What is your name? I asked her. Eliza. I like it, I told her. I know you do, Emma. Now get up and go spend the day with your brother. Asher has already sensed my presence and he can't wait to meet me, she said. I got up excited and full of energy. I can't wait to see Eliza. I brushed my teeth, showered, and put on sweats and a hoodie. Perfect for a lazy birthday day with my brother. When I came downstairs, Andrew had already made pancakes. It was our traditional birthday breakfast. Happy birthday, Emma, he yelled and gave me a big hug. Asher sensed Eliza. He is so excited to finally meet his sister. She can't wait to meet him, too, I said and gave him a big smile. I adore Asher. He is the best wolf there is. Come on, let's eat, he said and pulled me to the table. After we were full, we went to the living room to start our first movie of the day. We always watched the Avengers series. Humans did a great job on those movies. At around 1 p.m., Andrew and I went to the kitchen to start making lunch. On my birthday, we have my favorite meal, lasagna. On his birthday, we have his favorite meal, pizza. I started making the lasagna while Andrew sat down at the kitchen table. Maybe you will find your mate soon, he said. Maybe, I said, not looking up at him. I don't like talking to him about this. He is my brother, and talking about mating is weird. And I don't want to leave him, ever. It will be really hard for me to leave with my mate. Maybe it will be Jacob, he said. I looked up at him. Would you be okay with that? Yes, he said, and shrugged. He is one of our best warriors, so I know you would be safe with him. And I know you like him already. It would be easier for you to go with him. I walked over and sat beside him. It won't be easy for me to leave, no matter who my mate is. You are my family. I don't want to leave you. I know, Em, he said and smiled. I don't want you to leave. But if you find your mate, you will, and we will be okay. Maybe I won't find him, I said and got back up. You never did. Yes, he nodded. But I have a pretty good feeling you will, and it will be Jacob. I smiled and rolled my eyes. We will see. He got up and helped me finish our lunch. After we ate, we went back to the living room to watch another movie. At around 7 p.m., Andrew told me to go and get ready. We had to walk for about 20 minutes to reach the shifting site in the forest. It is a small clearing in the middle of the forest where all wolves go for their first shift. It is special because it is the only place in the forest where the moon can shine on you completely. Our forest is so thick that moon can barely shine through the trees. The clearing is the only place it shines freely. I put on my white dress, chosen especially for this night. It is tradition to wear white on the night of our first shift. I put on my shoes and went back downstairs. Andrew was waiting for me at the door. He handed me my jacket and we left the house. My heart was pounding in my chest. Andrew probably heard it because he grabbed my hand and pulled me closer to him. Don't be scared, Emma, he said quietly. It will be amazing. and I will be there for you." "Thank you," I said. "I love you." "I love you too, little one," he said, and gave me a side hug. After about 20 minutes, we arrived at the clearing. My friends and Luna Gloria were already there, waiting for us. Luna approached me first. "Happy birthday, sweetie. I can't wait to meet your wolf." "Thank you, Aunt Gloria. She's excited to meet you too," I said with a big smile. Amy and Jacob came towards me with big smiles on their faces. "Happy birthday, Emmy," Amy said, and gave me a tight hug. "Happy birthday, Emma," Jake said, and kissed my cheek. "Now let's meet your wolf. It is cold, and I don't want you to get sick." He is right. It is December, and the only thing I am wearing is a dress. I do have a jacket, but it is not keeping me warm. The only reason I am not shivering is excitement. "He is right, Emma," Andrew said. "Give me your jacket and stand in the middle of the clearing." I did what he said and stood in the middle of the clearing. They all gave me an encouraging smile and turned around to give me some privacy to remove my clothes. I carefully removed my dress, underwear, and shoes and folded them neatly into a pile. I stood back up and looked up at the moon. "Are you ready, Emma?" my wolf said. "I am," I responded. "How do I do this?" "Just let go. It will hurt, but don't fight it. It will be over soon. Let go and give me control," she said. I did what she said. I took a deep breath and let her take control of our mind and body. I started to feel my bones break. I let out a little scream and fell down on my knees. "That's right, Em." I heard my brother's voice. "It will be okay. Just let go." The pain was unbearable. It was like breaking all of your bones at the same time. I fought the urge to throw up and focused on letting go of my control. A few moments later, I was standing on all fours, my white fur shimmering under the moonlight. I took a deep breath and lifted my head proudly. My friends and family turned around and gasped. "She is white," Luna Gloria said. I looked at her and cocked my wolf head. "Is that something special?" "We are a pure white wolf, Emma." "Nobody is a pure white wolf," Eliza said. "What do you mean?" I asked her. "There are white wolves. I have seen them before." "Yes, but none of them are pure white," she said proudly. "They all have a spot in a different color or their paws are different. We are all white." "What does that mean?" Amy asked quietly. "I don't know," my brother said, not taking his eyes off of my wolf. "But she is beautiful." "She is," Jacob said quietly. I looked at him and immediately felt disappointed. No sparks, no connection. He is not my mate. "We are not his," Eliza said. "We belong to somebody else." "What do you mean, Eliza?" I asked, surprised. "Do you know who our mate is?" "I do," she said. "You will know soon." "Who is he?" I asked. "How do you know?" It isn't common for a wolf to know who his or hers mate is. They only know when they see them, but not before. "What is going on?" "I am not talking to you about it," Eliza said. "Now stop thinking about this and focus on your friends and family. Andrew is trying to mind link you." I pulled my focus away from our conversation and focused on my brother's voice inside my head. Now that I shifted, I can mind link the entire pack. "Emma?" He called me. "Emma, can you hear me?" "Yes," I responded. "Sorry, I was talking to Eliza." "You're beautiful, Emma," he said proudly. "Do you want to go for a run?" "Yes," I said with excitement in my voice. My brother told the rest of the group to shift, and we all went for a run. Eliza met all the wolves, and I could tell she loved them all, and they loved her, especially Asher. He was attentive and careful with Eliza, just like Andrew is with me. When I had enough, I mind-linked Andrew to tell him to go back. All the excitement and nervousness got to me, and I was tired. We got back to the clearing and took our clothes into our mouths. We all went behind a tree to shift and change. Shifting back hurt as well, but not like the first time. Each time we do this, it will be easier, Eliza said. After a while, it won't hurt at all. I walked back to the clearing, and my friends and family were already there. They hugged me and gave me a lot of kisses. They are proud of me and happy that I finally have my wolf. Nobody mentioned that I am a pure white again, so I just decided to forget about it. It is nothing special. I am nothing special. Luna Gloria left first. We stayed at the clearing for a while, just chatting and laughing. After a few minutes, we started walking back. Jacob walked beside me, and Andrew and Amy were in front of us. "So we are not mates," he said with sadness in his voice. "I guess not," I responded, not looking up at him. "That doesn't mean we can't be," he said. "I would choose you as my mate. I love you, Emma." I looked up at him, surprised. But before I could say anything, my brother interfered. "Jacob, no," he said strictly. "At least not yet. I know you love my sister, but she's only 18 and there's a chance she will meet her true mate. If she doesn't in a few years, and if you don't find your mate by then, you can make her your chosen mate. If she wants to get a chosen mate, but not before she has had a chance to find her true mate." I looked between Andrew and Jacob. Jacob wanted to fight, but he knew my brother was right. I love Jake, but I deserve a chance to find my true mate. After a few seconds of Andrew and Jake just glaring at each other, Jacob nodded and lowered his head. "You're right," he said quietly, "but I will wait for her." "I'm sorry, Jake," I said, and took his hand in mine. "You have nothing to be sorry about," he said, and gave me a small smile. Amy was quiet the whole time, but I could tell she was sad. She really hoped Jake and I would be mates. We continued our walk through the forest, and soon we were back at our house. Jake and Amy said their goodbyes and went home. Andrew and I went back inside the house, and I looked at my watch. It was 10 p.m. "Hey, do you want to watch another movie? It is not too late," Andrew asked and took my jacket to put it away. "I would, but I'm so tired," I said. He smiled. "Yeah, the first shift will do that to you." "I will just go to bed," I said. "Thank you for today. I loved it." "I loved it too, little one," he said with a big smile. "Asher and I love your wolf." "We love you too," I said and smiled. I walked upstairs and Andrew went to the living room. I hopped in the shower and put on my pajamas. I got under the covers and closed my eyes immediately. I don't think I slept long when I was awoken by a loud knock on our front door. I looked at my watch and saw that it was 11 p.m. Who was here this late? I removed the covers and went toward my bedroom door. I opened them in time to hear my brother's voice. "Logan," he said, "what are you doing here?" "Where is she? Where is Emma?" Logan asked nervously. His voice was the most amazing sound I have ever heard. It was like music to my ears. What was wrong with me? It never sounded like that before. It must have been because I was tired. But he sounded cold, rushed. I didn't know why he was asking for me, but I had a feeling that I was in trouble, but I didn't do anything wrong. "Emma?" my brother asked. "She's sleeping. Why?" I could hear surprise and confusion in his voice. I started walking toward the stairs and was instantly hit with the most amazing smell, pine needles and snow. It smelled like a winter forest. "Mate!" Eliza screamed in my head. "What?" I asked and froze. "It is Logan, Emma. He is our mate. Go to him," Eliza said, excited. "Logan, the alpha. He is my mate? I am a Luna?" I had a million questions in my head. My feet started moving against my will. It was like something was pulling me downstairs. Well, not something. The mate bond. "Wake her up," Logan growled. "Now." He sounded mad. Why was he mad? "I'm awake," I said and started walking down the stairs. I stopped in the middle to look at Logan. Everything shifted when I looked into his eyes. He was now the center of my world. He was everything. I felt this incredible need to touch him, to be in his arms. I wanted to run to him, but I stopped myself when I saw how cold his stare was. What was going on? Logan? My brother called him. She's my mate, Logan said through his teeth. My brother gasped and looked up at me. I nodded and looked back at Logan. He was standing there looking at me with a cold expression on his face. His fists were clenched, and his posture was rigid. He didn't want me. That's why he was so angry. I was not good enough to be his Luna. Emma, Andrew called my name. Go to your room, now. He must have seen how angry Logan was and wanted to talk to him about this. I turned away and walked back upstairs. But there was no way I was going back into my room. I wanted to hear what Logan would say. I had a feeling I knew, though. I heard them walking to the kitchen, and I sat at the top of the stairs. I would be able to hear them talk, and hopefully they would be focused on their conversation and would not be able to hear or sense me. I just had to be very quiet. I hugged my knees and waited. Talk, my brother said coldly. How did you know before you even saw her? I don't know. Logan sighed. I could sense and smell her. It happened about an hour ago. At first I thought I was going crazy, but then I decided to follow that smell. I knew for sure when I came closer to your house. Leon started going crazy. That is weird, my brother said. Mates usually know when they see each other. They can't sense it before. I know, but I did. Logan growled. My brother sighed. Why are you angry? She can't be my Luna, Andrew. Logan said. My heart broke. I hugged my knees even tighter. I felt warm tears running down my cheeks. Nothing hurts like your mate's rejection. What? Why? My brother asked angrily. She is a child, Logan said. She is not strong enough to be a Luna. I need someone stronger. You are kidding me, right? My brother yelled. You are going to throw away Goddess's gift because you don't think she is strong enough? It is for the pack, Logan said calmly. You know our pack needs strong leadership, especially now that rogues are attacking even more frequently. Alpha is always stronger when he has his Luna by his side. My brother growled. He is, and I will have my Luna, Logan said. I am thinking about taking Sienna as my chosen mate. My heart stopped beating. He was choosing another she-wolf instead of me, and not just any wolf, Sienna. She wanted to get rid of me, and she will. She will become a Luna and she will exile me from my pack. Maybe she will even kill me when she finds out I am Logan's true mate. Why didn't you already do that if you think she will be a great Luna? My brother asked angrily. I wanted to wait for my true mate. Logan answered, to see if I was gifted with a strong she-wolf. But now that I see that is not the case, I can freely choose somebody else. I can't believe this, my brother said quietly. You know I am right, Andrew, Logan said. You know that you, me, and Sienna will be great leaders, and the pack will benefit greatly from our leadership. We can't do that with your sister. She's only 18. My brother said nothing, and I think he agreed with Logan. He thought that I was not strong. I didn't think my heart could break even more. I've heard enough. I got up and walked to my room. My heart was breaking into a million tiny pieces. I didn't think that I would ever be able to put it back together. And he hasn't officially rejected me yet. I didn't know how I would survive when he does. Mates can reject each other. It doesn't break the bond, though, nothing does. It is only words. But it lets you know that your mate doesn't want you. And it is horrible. The bond is alive, but you can't do anything about it. Being exiled by Sienna and becoming a rogue suddenly didn't sound so bad. It was better than staying here watching them together. It would kill me slowly. Eliza, I called my wolf. Are you okay? No, Emma. She whined. I'm in pain. I know, I said. I am sorry. His wolf wants us. She whined. Leon wants us. It is Logan who is fighting the bond. I didn't respond, and I felt her going further back in my mind. I didn't think I would hear from her again tonight. She needed to heal. I couldn't stay here. I couldn't see my brother. I couldn't see him. I quickly put on my tights, a hoodie, and sneakers. I grabbed a jacket from my wardrobe and opened my window. My room was on the second floor, but there was a roof just underneath it. I always sneaked out this way when my brother forbade me from going out with Amy. He never caught me. I hoped that tonight would be the same. I carefully climbed out onto the roof and made my way down. I had to be really careful not to make any noise. I was in a house with an alpha and a beta werewolf. Their hearing was even better than other werewolves. I just hoped they were still talking and focused on their conversation. I climbed down and started walking toward the forest. There was a cave nearby where Amy, Jake, and I always went to hang out when we wanted to be alone. I needed to go there and think. Logan POV. I wanted to reject her on the spot. But when I saw her stand there on the stairs, I couldn't do it. I couldn't say those words. I saw that she was happy when she looked at me. She wanted to go to me. But she saw my cold stare and she stopped herself. Goddess, she was beautiful. I always thought that she was pretty and hot, but now that she was my mate, she was even more beautiful than before. She smelled like strawberries and watermelon. Her long brown hair was falling freely down her back, and her blue eyes were an ocean I want to swim in. Her lips were perfect. Her small body was perfect. Every curve was made for me. I just wanted to touch her. I clenched my fist to stop myself. I shut Leon out completely because he would kill me for what I was about to do. He was so happy when we smelled her. I didn't want him to see this. I would deal with him later. I was relieved when Andrew told her to go upstairs. I would be able to think clearly now that she wasn't here. I could tell Andrew was not happy with my explanation, but he knew that I was right. He knew that the pack always came first. And his sister was a child. She just shifted today. She couldn't control her wolf properly, and she couldn't fight in wolf form. The rogues would use her against me, and that would ruin the pack. I needed a strong Luna. Sienna would be a great Luna. She was strong and kind. Our pack would benefit from having her as a Luna. Andrew. I called him after he didn't respond. Fuck, he muttered. You're right. Sienna is strong and she would be a great Luna. But that doesn't mean my sister couldn't get stronger. It doesn't, I agreed. But we don't have the time to train her, to make her stronger. Rogues would use her as a liability against me, and the pack would suffer. You know I am right. He nodded and ran his hand through his hair. Do you want to tell her now? He asked me. I nodded. Yes, it doesn't make sense to wait. Fine, he said. I will go get her. I took a deep breath and tried to calm myself. I couldn't get distracted by the bond, by her. I needed to do this for my father and for my pack. It wouldn't sever the bond. Nothing did. I would still feel her. She would still be my mate, but I would be free to make Sienna my Luna. Fuck! I heard Andrew yell, and I immediately ran upstairs. Her smell was so intoxicating up here, I couldn't help but to breathe it in deeply. What happened? I asked Andrew. He left her room, but she wasn't with him. She left, he growled. I froze, and my heart started beating painfully. She left. She probably heard us and left. What if something happened to her? I couldn't let that happen. I couldn't live without her. Leon, I called my wolf. Can you feel our mate's wolf? Is she okay? No. He growled at me. Her wolf is in pain. She retracted far back in mate's mind. I can't feel her. Fuck. Fuck. You are a complete fucker, Logan. Leon growled. Mate is perfect and strong. You will be sorry for what you did. I didn't respond, and I pushed him to the back of my mind. I didn't need that now. He is an animal. He reacts purely on instinct, and his instinct is to get his mate. I have to be the one to think rationally and think about our pack. Andrew ran past me and went downstairs. He grabbed his jacket and ran through the front door. I followed him in a daze. "Come on, Logan," he growled. "Follow her scent." "Where did she go?" I focused on him and did what he told me to do. Her scent was the strongest underneath her bedroom window, and it continued toward the forest. "Shit," Andrew muttered. We hurried towards the forest, and I told him where to go based on the intensity of her scent. It wasn't hard to follow her, so it couldn't be long since she walked this path. Suddenly, her scent just stopped. I couldn't smell her anymore. It was like she just disappeared. My heart stopped beating. "What's wrong?" Andrew asked. "I can't smell her anymore," I said quietly. "The smell is completely gone." "Fuck," he yelled. "She used masking spray." I closed my eyes and took a deep breath to calm myself. She was okay. I would have felt if something happened to her. "Emma," Andrew yelled. "Leon," I called my wolf. "I know you're mad at me, but I need you to try and talk to her wolf. Tell her to come back." "I will," he growled. "But not because of you. I want Mate to be safe." "Leon will try to talk to her wolf," I told Andrew. "If something happens to her, I will kill you, alpha or not." He growled at me. He was the only one who could say something like that to me. If he wasn't my best friend, he would be dead already. "She is okay, Andrew," I said. "I would feel if something happened to her." "What if she decided to leave the pack, huh?" he growled. "To become a rogue because she heard her mate, the one person who should love her unconditionally, say that she is not strong enough to be his mate and Luna." "I didn't do that, not yet anyway," a voice said from the forest. Andrew and I turned towards the sound. Emma leaned against the tree. I let out a breath I had been holding. "She's okay." She was wearing tights that let me see her legs perfectly. Her face was even more beautiful than it was back at the house. How was it possible for someone to become even more beautiful in a matter of minutes? I had to use all my strength not to go to her and make her mine. If I was a regular wolf and not an alpha, I didn't think I would be able to do that. Andrew ran towards her and hugged her. I got jealous. I wanted to do that, but I knew I couldn't. I had to be strong. "Goddess, Emma," Andrew yelled. "Don't ever do that again." She didn't hug him back. She stepped away from him and looked at me. "You're here to reject me, right?" she said quietly. "Come on, do it. Let's get this over with." Andrew and I shared a confused look. How was she so calm? So strong? I looked back at her, and she was staring at me with her head held high. I took a deep breath and walked closer to her. "You know why I have to do this?" "I do." She nodded. "I heard everything." I nodded and ran my hand through my hair. Every part of me was screaming at me not to do this. Leon clawed his way to the front of my mind to see his mate, and he was growling and whining. I didn't want to do this. I wanted her, but I had to, for my pack. I took a deep breath and looked directly into her wonderful eyes. "I, Logan Carter, Alpha of the Crescent Moon Pack, reject you, Emma Parker of the Crescent Moon Pack." I could feel my heart breaking. Leon was howling inside me, and I could feel his pain. She was looking right at me, and I could see the pain in her eyes, but she refused to show it. Most wolves fall to their knees from pain. I wanted to fall to my knees and claw at my chest, but she didn't. She was standing there with her head held high. She took a deep breath and closed her wonderful eyes. "I, Emma Parker of the Crescent Moon Pack, accept your rejection." I closed my eyes and felt tears running down my cheek. When I opened them, she was gone. The bond was still here. Nothing has changed. I felt the same way toward her. I still wanted her. But I just opened the door for me to mate with another she-wolf. Emma POV. I never thought I could feel this much pain and survive. My whole body is trembling, and my soul is in pieces. There is a huge hole in my heart, and I don't think I will ever be able to fix it. My mate doesn't want me. I am not good enough. My brother thinks I am weak. My mate rejected me. He will have a new Luna, and I will have to look at them every day. I don't know how I came home. I don't remember the path. Pain clouded my vision. I left Logan and Andrew in the forest, and I just started running away. I couldn't go back to the cave. I didn't want them to find it. It would mean that I wouldn't be safe there anymore. We always use masking spray before coming into the cave, but Andrew and Logan came close to finding it. I guess it was because of the mate bond. Logan could smell me better. I started walking to my room. I shut the door and locked it. I didn't want to see my brother. I didn't want to talk to him. I wanted to be alone. I lay on my bed and stared at the ceiling. I just wished I could feel numb, not happy. I didn't think I would ever be happy again. The best I could have hoped for was numbness. Maybe I would be able to achieve that. Maybe the pain would burn through my body tonight, and in the morning, there would be nothing left but numbness, like poison. It burns, destroys, and leaves. I heard my brother opening the back door and running upstairs. He tried to open my bedroom door. "Emma?" he called me. "Emma, open the door, please." I stayed silent. I didn't want to talk to him. "Emma, please," he said. "Let me explain." There was nothing to explain. I was a weak, small she-wolf who could never be good enough to be a Luna, or Logan's mate. Andrew tried to talk to me a few more times, but he gave up when I refused to answer. I heard him sigh and walk away. I continued to stare at the ceiling. What a way to end a birthday. My day started full of excitement, love, and new beginnings, only to end in pain and misery. I never thought it would happen like this. I stayed up all night staring at the ceiling and wishing the pain would go away. It sort of worked. By the time I was supposed to get up and go get breakfast, the pain was better and bearable. Maybe I could tell that a small part of me was numb. That was a start. I heard my brother wake up. He walked downstairs to the kitchen and started making breakfast. Half an hour later, I heard Sienna coming. A little while after, Logan arrived as well. It was tradition for them. They always met at our house, had breakfast, and then they went and did their alpha and beta duties. Sienna just went around being a bitch to everybody. But soon, she would have Luna's duties. I looked at my watch and saw that I had to be at the training ground in an hour. I decided to get ready and get there early. I couldn't stand being in the same house as them. I got up and hopped in the shower. I quickly got dressed and tied my hair in a ponytail. I looked in the mirror, and my lack of sleep was visible on my face. I sighed and unlocked my bedroom door. I decided to leave through the back door, so I didn't have to see anybody. But my brother heard me. "Emma?" he called me and came running from the kitchen. I stared at him blankly. "Where are you going?" he asked me. "Training grounds," I said quietly. "It is early," he said, "and Jacob is not here yet." There was a loud growl in the kitchen. "Logan." I ignored it and put my focus back on my brother. "I want to get there early today." "Oh, okay," my brother said nervously, "but you didn't eat anything." "I am not hungry," I said, and walked through the door. I closed them before he could say anything. I walked over to the training grounds and I saw that Jake was already there. He saw me and gave me a confused look. "Emma? What are you doing here? I was just about to go get you," he told me. Before I could say anything, he noticed how tired I looked. "Emma?" he asked, worried. What happened? I'm fine, I said quietly. I couldn't sleep. Why beautiful? He asked, and wrapped me in his arms. Goddess, why couldn't he be my mate? I found my mate, I whispered in his arms. I felt him tense, and he pulled away from me to look me in the eyes. He left his hands on my shoulders, holding me tightly. Who is it? He asked me. And why are you so sad? I couldn't answer him. Those words didn't want to leave my mouth. I looked down at my feet. Did he? He started talking, but he stopped himself. I looked back up at him and nodded. His eyes widened. Oh my goddess, I am so sorry, beautiful. You don't deserve that. Nobody deserves that. I smiled slightly and sighed. Well, I guess it had to happen like that. Who is he? He asked me. Not now, Jake, I said. We will talk after training. He nodded and wrapped me in a hug again. He kissed my forehead and walked over to his training ground. My whole training session sucked. I was so tired and distracted that I got a nice ass whopping. By the end, I was covered in bruises and cuts. Amy walked over to me with a frown on her face. Emmy, you suck today. What happened? Why were you so distracted? I will tell you at the diner, Amy, I said. I need to go home and take a hot shower. Okay, she said, eyeing me up and down. Are you sure you are okay? I nodded and walked away. I just hoped that my brother wasn't home. I didn't want him to see me like this. It would only add to his belief that I was weak. I was lucky. He was out. But a monster waited for me at my house. Sienna. She was leaning on the kitchen counter when I walked in. She eyed me up and down and smiled wickedly. Well, if it isn't the little rejected mate, she said, smirking. You know, I always wanted to see the face of a little bitch whose Luna title I would take away, but the fact that it is you only makes it better. I rolled my eyes and started walking upstairs. She ran after me and grabbed my hand, turning me around. Listen here, you little bitch, she spat in my face. I am your Luna, and you will not roll your eyes at me. My Luna is Gloria. You are just a really bad replacement. I spat back. She slapped me hard, and I fell on the floor. I should have seen that coming. She stepped on my arm with her heel. It hurt like hell, but I didn't want to give her the pleasure of screaming. I looked up at her with a murderous look on my face. I can't wait for Logan to mark me as his. I will kill you and make it look like you ran away to be a rogue, she said quietly, and walked away. I slowly got up and walked upstairs to my room. My life would be a living hell until Sienna finally ended me. I was sure she would make sure to torture and torment me whenever she had a chance to. Even though Logan rejected me, she still saw me as a threat. Logan POV? Who the hell is this Jacob guy? It has been bugging me since this morning. I mean, I know that he is one of my best warriors and he is Emma's friend. But why is he so attentive to my mate? She is not yours anymore, Leon growled. You rejected her, remember? I ignored him. He's been doing that the whole morning. He's been reminding me of what I did and pushing me away. I called my head of patrol in my office. I will find out everything I can about this Jacob guy. He was quick. He got to my office in a matter of minutes. Alpha, he addressed me. You wanted to see me? Yes, I said and sat at my desk. Thank you for coming here on such short notice, Lewis. It wasn't a problem, he said and smiled. What can I do for you, Alpha? What can you tell me about a warrior named Jacob? I asked. Jacob Walters? He asked. I nodded and waited for him to go on. Well, he is an amazing young man, he said. One of our best warriors. He is strong, a very quick learner, and the other wolves love him. Why? Is there a problem? No, I said and shook my head. No problem, Lewis. I just noticed him in training and saw potential in him. Oh, yes. He smiled brightly. There is a lot of potential in him. He is one of my best. I could tell Lewis was proud of him. Does he have a mate? I asked, trying to sound indifferent. No, he said, shaking his head. But there is a rumor he would like to take a chosen one. He's been in love with this girl forever. Most of my boys are, to tell you the truth. He laughed, and I clenched my fists. If he was talking about Emma, I would kill somebody. Who is that girl? Emma Parker, he said. You're Beta's sister. I saw red. I clenched my fists and growled. She is mine. Lewis looked at me with a shocked expression on his face. I tried to pull myself together. Thank you, Lewis. You can leave, I said through my teeth. He got up quickly, clearly afraid of me, and left my office in a hurry. As soon as I heard him leave the pack house, I put my fist through the wall. Fuck. Why are you angry, Logan? Leon sneered. You rejected her. Did you think no other wolves would want her? She's beautiful and perfect. Of course they want her. And now you get to watch another wolf have her while you suffer with that bitch Sienna. Shut the hell up, Leon, I growled at my wolf. You are smirking like you won't be watching her be with another, just like me. Yes. But I get to shut you out and hurt you just like you did to me. He growled back. I will not watch that bitch Sienna be our mate in Luna. That place belongs to Emma. Sienna is my friend, I spat back at him. She's the worst person ever, he said. Asher thinks so as well. You and Andrew are the only blind ones. Our fight was interrupted when Andrew walked into my office. What the hell happened? He asked, looking at the hole in my wall. Did you know that Jacob wants your sister to be his chosen mate? I asked angrily. He sighed and sat on the couch. Yes, I did. We talked about it. I growled. What did you tell him? I told him to give her a chance to meet her true mate, he said calmly. Now that she has, and you rejected her, I don't have a problem with him asking her. I growled loudly and walked over to him. He will not do that. I don't think you have a choice, Logan, he said, looking up at me. You didn't want her. He does. I whined and ran my hand through my hair. I couldn't do anything about that. I had chosen a different mate. She should have an opportunity to do the same, but it would kill me. Looking at another man touching what's mine, it would kill me. There was another rogue attack, Andrew said, pulling me away from my thoughts. What? Where? I turned to him. South border, he said. Our patrol took care of it pretty quickly. Good. I sighed. It has been happening more often. Any word from other alphas? He asked. I shook my head. No, but Alpha Drake said he would call soon. We have been in touch with other alphas whose packs are frequently attacked by the rogues. We have been trying to figure out what the Rogue King wants. We didn't make any progress, unfortunately. Any rogue wolf who was captured refused to talk, even when tortured. We couldn't get them to talk. But I hope Alpha Drake will give me some good news soon. We have to get to the bottom of this soon. Andrew sighed. We can't fight them if we don't know what they want. We will, I said and sat back down at my desk. Do you want to go grab something to eat? Andrew asked me. We could go to that diner that has those amazing burgers. I nodded. I needed to eat something. I haven't slept much and my whole body hurt like somebody beat me up good. As of a few minutes ago, my hands started throbbing. I guess punching a wall hurts more than I thought it would, but it was okay. It would stop soon. We werewolves heal quickly. On our way out of the pack house, we ran into Sienna. She gave us a warm smile and kissed me on the cheek. Hello, mate, she said and winked at me. Hello, Sienna. I smiled. We're going to the diner to eat something. Do you want to go with us? Sure, she said and smiled brightly. Sienna would be a good mate. She was smart, pretty, and kind. And she was a good fuck, I had to admit. She would be a great Luna. When we got close to the diner, I was hit by the most amazing smell. Strawberries and watermelon. Emma. She was inside. As soon as I got inside, my eyes searched for her. I found her sitting in a booth with her friends, Amy and Jacob, and he had his arm around her. I let go of Sienna and clenched my fists. I growled quietly. Sienna yanked on my hand, and I looked at her irritated. "She is not your mate anymore, Logan," she said angrily. "I am." Before I could respond, I heard Andrew gasp. I followed his gaze and saw that he was looking at Emma. Why did he gasp? I looked closer and saw that she was covered in bruises and scrapes. I ran towards her and grabbed her upper arm. That fucker Jacob immediately let go of her. Tingles spread through my body. That was the first time I touched her since we found out we were mates. It was the most pleasurable feeling in the world. I could only imagine what it would feel like to kiss her, or be inside her. Fuck, Logan, stop thinking about this, focus. What happened to you? I growled. I heard Andrew beside me. Emma, what happened to your hand? I looked at her hand and saw that it was severely bruised as if somebody had stepped on it. She glanced towards Sienna, and I could swear I saw fear in her eyes. Why was she afraid of Sienna? She looked back at us and pulled her arm from my grip. I immediately felt cold and empty. I had a rough training session, she said quietly and looked down. This is what I thought when I said she wasn't strong enough. If she was attacked by a rogue, she wouldn't be able to defend herself. But that didn't mean that I didn't want to kill the fucker who touched and hurt what belongs to me. You need to be more careful, Andrew said quietly. You mean stronger? She asked and looked at us. When we didn't respond, she sighed and looked down. I am with my friends, she said. I will see you at home, Andrew. Andrew nodded reluctantly and pulled me to our booth. I didn't want to leave her, but I had to. I couldn't take my eyes off of her the entire time we were there. I could see Sienna was pissed, but I couldn't care less. My mate was with another male. I had to keep an eye on her. You rejected her, Leon growled. And you are with another female. I ignored him completely and continued to stare at her. Goddess, she was beautiful. Emma POV. I felt Logan's eyes on me the entire night. I didn't look up at him once. Every time Jacob touched me, there was a low, menacing growl coming from his direction. What the hell was his problem? He was the one who rejected me. He was the one who was sitting there with his new mate and future Luna. Before they came to the diner, I told Amy and Jacob about me and Logan. They were shocked to hear that he had rejected me and that he had chosen Sienna as his mate. They knew all about her, and they were the only ones who believed me. She was a bitch to them as well, so it wasn't hard for them to believe that I was telling the truth about her. I want to kill her for doing that to your hand, beautiful, Jacob said quietly. It's okay, Jake, I said. I will heal. No, it is not okay, Emmy. Amy whined. She hurt you. Until now, she only used her words, but I am afraid of how far she is willing to go now. Amy is right. Jake nodded. She hates the fact that you were Logan's mate. I'm afraid of what she could do. Maybe I could talk to Alpha and Beta. No, Jacob, I said and grabbed his hand. Promise me you won't do that. They won't believe you. Trust me. I've tried telling my brother about her more than once. He just doesn't want to believe that his friend is a bitch. Just let it go. It will be okay. I will be okay. She will forget about me once Logan marks her. I will no longer be a threat to her when that happens. Amy and Jake exchanged worried looks. Fine. Jacob sighed and put his arm around my shoulders. A louder growl came from Logan's booth. He immediately let go of me. Why did you have to be mated to an alpha? He asked, irritated. His energy alone is making it impossible for me to touch you. I have to submit even to his growls. I don't want to lose an arm. I chuckled. I am sorry, Jacob. It'll get better. When he marks Sienna, he will forget about me. I hope so, he said and gave me a warm smile. I smiled back and sighed. Well, I should go home. You didn't eat anything. Amy said. I'll eat at home. I said and smiled. That was a lie. I didn't have an appetite. If I ate something, I would throw it all up anyway. The three of us walked out of the diner, followed by an intense gaze. I sighed and rolled my eyes. For somebody who didn't want me as his mate, he sure stared a lot. Amy and Jacob hugged me goodbye, and I walked to my house. When I got inside, I immediately started walking upstairs. I was stopped abruptly when two large hands grabbed my waist and pulled me back. You are not locking yourself in your room again. Andrew growled in my ear. I was so lost in my thoughts that I didn't even hear him walking behind me. I don't want to talk to you, I said, and tried to wiggle out of his grip. It was useless. He only tightened his grip and picked me up. He walked over to the couch and put me down on my feet. He grabbed my hand and pulled me down to sit on the couch. He sat beside me and tilted my chin so I would look at him. You are my sister, the only family I have. He growled at me. I'm not letting another day go by without talking to you. I don't have anything to say, I said quietly. I am sorry, Emma, he said, cupping my face. I am so sorry. You think I am weak, I said quietly, and a tear rolled down my face. He looked down, ashamed. I told him you could get stronger. I think you are more than worthy of being a Luna. But he only sees the physical aspect of things. He doesn't see how strong you are in other aspects of life. I kept quiet. They didn't know that I have been training with Jacob. I was stronger than they thought I was, but me being covered in bruises and scrapes after training today didn't help my case. But it only happened because I didn't sleep. I was so tired. I still am. But it shouldn't matter. He should want me the way I am, physically weak or physically strong. It shouldn't matter. I knew I would be a great Luna. Too bad they didn't see it that way. I love you, Emma, he said when I didn't respond. You are the most important thing in my world. Please forgive me. I was thinking like a beta, not like a brother. But when it comes to the issues related to the pack, I have to think like that. I am really sorry. I knew that he and Logan had to think about the pack first. It was their job, their duty. My father would be proud of Andrew, but I think they at least should have given me a chance to prove myself, especially Logan. He immediately assumed I wouldn't be good enough. But I couldn't stay mad at my brother forever. He was the only family I had. I love you too, Andrew, I said. And I understand you have to think about the pack. Dad would be proud of you. He wrapped me in a tight hug and kissed my cheek. Does that mean you won't lock yourself in your room anymore? He asked, still holding me tight. I chuckled and nodded. I won't. Good, he said and let me go. Dinner and a movie? I shook my head. I am really tired and I already ate. He narrowed his eyes at me. Did you? Yes, I lied. At the diner. Okay, he said, still suspicious. Tomorrow night then. I smiled and nodded. We got up and I walked over to the stairs. Andrew kissed my forehead before going to the kitchen to make himself something to eat. I was always surprised by the amount of food he could eat. He literally just ate at the diner, and he was making himself something to eat again. I chuckled quietly and shook my head. I walked into my bathroom and hopped into the shower. Bruises and cuts were already healed, but my hand was still bruised. That bitch Sienna stepped on it pretty good. I finished showering and put on my pajamas. I got under the covers and closed my eyes. I hoped that I would get some sleep tonight. Emma POV. My wish didn't come true. I kept tossing and turning, and I couldn't sleep. Pain was burning through me, and I couldn't stop it. I looked at myself in the mirror and sighed. I look even paler than usual. My eyes are red and puffy from crying. I sighed and put on my sneakers. I had to hurry up or I would be late for my training session. Today was the day I would train with Jake as well. But I didn't think that I would be able to do that. I would just have to come up with an excuse. I walked downstairs to the kitchen to grab a glass of water before going to the training grounds. Sienna was sitting at the table, alone. Shit. She looked up at me with a murderous look on her face. Why does she hate me so much? If you think that you will be taking Logan away from me, you are mistaken, she growled. I sighed and walked to the kitchen cabinet. I took a glass and filled it with water. Did you hear me, bitch? She asked. I turned around and sipped my water. I did. What did I tell you about disrespecting your Luna? She asked and got up. I already told you, I said, looking right into her eyes. You are not my Luna. She walked over to me. She was furious. She grabbed my wrist, digging her nails into my skin. Listen to me, you little bitch, she said quietly. Logan is mine. You will not take him away from me. Do you understand? I will kill you. And that is a promise. I forcefully pulled my arm away from her grip and gave myself deep scratches from her nails. I took a few steps back from her. I was furious. She has been nothing but mean to me my whole life, and now she has started to be physically abusive, threatening to kill me. I was done. You are such a fucking bitch, Sienna, I said loudly. At that moment, I heard the front door open and my name being called. Emma? My brother yelled. Sienna gave me an evil smirk and made the saddest face she could. My brother and Logan walked into the kitchen. Both were glaring at me. Both were angry. Emma? My brother said strictly. What is going on? I was looking at him wide-eyed. I didn't know what to say. I knew that they wouldn't believe me. They obviously didn't hear what Sienna said. They would be looking at her with that expression, not me. At least I hoped they would. I was just trying to talk to her about this whole mate thing, Sienna said with a teary voice. Apologize. Make sure there is no bad blood between us. We are sisters. I guess she is taking this really hard. She was such a good liar. I was actually impressed. I stared at her without saying a word. I didn't even know what to say. Emma, I know this is hard for you, Logan said, but you can't talk to your future Luna like that. I averted my gaze to him. When my eyes met his, I couldn't hold it in anymore. I felt tears coming, and I was not giving them the satisfaction of seeing me break in front of them. I immediately turned around and ran through the back door. Emma! My brother yelled after me. It is okay, Andrew. Let her go, Sienna said, faking sadness. She just needs a minute to calm down. My tears ran down my cheeks, and I didn't even try to stop them. She was slowly taking everything from me. My brother, my mate, my life, and nobody saw it. Nobody believed me. I suddenly wished for her to fulfill her promise of killing me. That would be easier than living with this pain. I arrived at the training grounds just in time for my session. I was in no shape to train. I haven't slept and haven't eaten anything since my birthday 2 days ago. But I needed it. I needed the physical pain. After half an hour of training, my ribs got broken during a sparring with another she-wolf, Katie. I took a sharp breath and fell on my knees. Oh my goddess, Emma? Katie yelled and fell on her knees beside me. Are you okay? I'm sorry. It is okay, Katie, I said, taking a few deep breaths. It is my fault. I got distracted. Amy and Jake came running over to me. Amy yelled. What happened? I think her ribs are broken, Katie said while helping Amy pull me back on my feet. I winced in pain, and before I knew it, 2 strong arms picked me up bridal style. Jake, I am fine. You don't have to carry me, I protested. Stop it, Emma, he growled. I am not letting you walk around with broken ribs. I quieted down and let him carry me to the pack doctor's office. Amy and Katie were walking behind us, both eyeing me with concern. When we arrived, Jake placed me down on the bed as gently as he could. The nurse told us that the doctor would be in soon and left. She gave me a warm smile on her way out. "Katie, would you mind waiting outside?" Jake asked her. "There is something Amy and I need to talk to Emma about." "Of course," she said and smiled. She walked outside and closed the door. I looked at Jake. He was looking at me like a father looks at his child when a child messed up pretty badly. "What the hell happened out there, Emma?" he growled. I sighed and winced. I was tired. I lost my focus. "You never lose focus on a battlefield, Emma." He growled again. "Never." "Jake, calm down." Amy interfered. "Let her explain." She looked at me with a questioning look on her face. They were not letting this go, were they? I sighed. "I haven't slept since my birthday, okay?" I was tired and she caught me off guard. Jake growled loudly. "You should have never stepped foot on that training ground today. This could have ended up so much worse." "I'm sorry, Jake," I said quietly, staring down at my hands. He started pacing the room, running his hand through his hair. He was mad at me, but it was touching to see how much he cared about me. Amy ignored his outburst and took my hand in hers. "How about you come over to my house tonight?" Amy asked, smiling down at me. "We could order a pizza, watch a movie, maybe even sleep." She winked at me, and I laughed before wincing. Shit, laughing hurt. Well, everything hurt when your ribs are broken. I really wanted to go. I needed a break from everything going on at my house. I didn't want to wake up tomorrow and see Sienna, especially now that I was a much slower target. And maybe I would be able to get some sleep after a relaxing night with my friend. Before I could answer, the door flung open and my brother and Logan ran inside. Logan POV. When Emma ran away from the kitchen, I felt my heart clench painfully. "Go after her, you fucker," Leon growled. "Go after my mate." "She insulted our future Luna," I growled back. "Sienna will never be my Luna." He yelled and retreated to the back of my mind, cutting our link. I could feel how mad he was, but I ignored it. Andrew and Sienna came back inside and sat at the table. I joined them and looked at Andrew. He was worried. His eyebrows were furrowed, and he was staring down at his hands. "Don't worry, Andrew," Sienna said and placed her hand on his shoulder. "She will be okay. She just needs time to process all of this." Sienna was so kind and forgiving. She would be a great Luna. I was sure of that. I gave her a warm smile. "I'm sorry, Sienna." Andrew sighed. "You didn't deserve that. I will talk to her." She squeezed his shoulder and smiled at him warmly. Andrew looked up at me and his face got serious. He was in beta mode now. It was time to work. "So Alpha Drake is coming the day after tomorrow?" he asked me. I nodded. "Yes, and we will be having a formal dinner. I want him to feel welcome in our pack and for his stay to be as pleasant as possible." "Who will be joining him?" Sienna asked. "His beta Josh and 5 warriors. They don't want any trouble on their trip," I said. "No Luna?" Andrew asked. I shook my head. "No, he still hasn't found his mate and refuses to take a chosen one." He was a year older than me and still had no mate. It was unusual for an alpha wolf to be mateless at our age, but we both wanted to wait for our true mate. We spent the next half an hour arranging their stay and talking about the formal dinner. Everything had to be done to perfection. My pack has a reputation, and I was keeping it. "When will the meeting take place?" Andrew asked. The main reason for Alpha Drake's visit was to tell me what he had found out about rogue attacks. I was planning on having the meeting with them the day after their arrival. I was just about to answer Andrew's question when a sharp pain struck my left side. I gasped and bent over. "Logan!" Andrew yelled and came rushing to me. Sienna stood up and came to my other side with a worried expression on her face. I looked down, expecting to see some sort of a sharp object lunged into me, but there was nothing. And then it hit me. It wasn't my pain. "Emma," I said quietly. "What?" Andrew asked, confused. "It's Emma," I said louder. "It is Emma's pain. Something is wrong." Andrew stood up immediately and ran through the back door, me following right behind him. He was running towards the training grounds. She must have been in a session. It only took us a few minutes to get there. Being an alpha and beta meant that we were faster and stronger than other wolves. I searched frantically for her, but I couldn't find her anywhere. One of my warriors noticed us and walked over. "Alpha, beta," he said. "Can I help you?" "Yes," Andrew said quickly. "My sister Emma, where is she?" He looked between us. She was taken to the hospital. She fractured her ribs while sparring with another she-wolf. I was running towards the pack doctor's office before the man finished speaking. I heard Andrew right behind me. I saw red. My mate was hurt. She was in pain. My mate needed me. Leon was howling and growling inside my head, and he wasn't helping one bit. I was shaking, and I needed to see her. I needed to know that she would be okay. Before I knew it, Andrew and I burst through the door. She was lying in bed. Her friend Amy was holding her hand, and Jacob was pacing the room. The three of them looked at us with wide eyes. Both Andrew and I walked over to her, and when I got closer, I could smell Jacob on her. Fuck. He probably carried her in here. That was my job. I was supposed to be the one who brought her here. I was supposed to be the one taking care of her. I clenched my fists and growled loudly. I had to use all my strength to control myself and not kill the fucker. He touched my mate. He should be dying right now. "What happened, Em?" Andrew asked her and took her other hand in his. She hadn't slept since her birthday but still decided it was a good idea to fight. Jake answered before she could. Andrew and I looked at him with shocked expressions on our faces. "She hasn't been sleeping?" Before we could say anything to her, our pack doctor, Ren Adams, walked in. "Alpha Logan, Beta Andrew," he said and smiled at us. Both Andrew and I gave him a short nod and looked at Emma, frowning. Oh, she was going to hear from me after the checkup. And by the look on Andrew's face, she was in for a double lecture. "Well, if it isn't my favorite little wolf," the doctor said with a big smile on his face. "What happened, Emma?" "Sparring accident," she said quietly. "Oh, I see many of those," the doctor said and lifted her shirt. A growl escaped me. He was touching my mate. The doctor ignored me completely and proceeded to remove Emma's shirt to look at her ribs. There was a huge bruise from her stomach to her back, and my heart hurt looking at it. I heard Andrew gasp at the sight. The doctor touched her and she winced in pain. I growled loudly. I wanted to rip his arms out. "No need for that, mate," the doctor said, not looking up at me. "I'm just doing my job." Shit, he knew. I tensed up and I could see Andrew looking at me from the corner of his eye. "Well, you are not being very subtle, man." Andrew mind-linked me. I ignored him and continued to watch as the doctor checked my mate. "Well, Emma, it seems that 2 of your ribs are broken," he said and pulled her shirt down carefully. "You need to rest. Now that you have your wolf, it should heal in a day or 2, but I want you to rest, no activities of any sort." "You can be sure of that, doctor," Andrew said, still frowning. The doctor gave Emma some painkillers and said goodbye to all of us. As soon as he left the room, I looked at my mate with a strict expression on my face. "What the hell were you thinking, Emma?" I growled. "Logan POV." She was looking down at her hands and she was not answering me. I was going crazy. "You could have been seriously hurt," Andrew said, frowning. "Why didn't you tell me you hadn't been sleeping?" I am fine, she said quietly. I growled loudly. 2 broken ribs is fine. She looked up at me and frowned. Beta Andrew, Amy said, and I turned to look at her. I asked Emma to come over to my house tonight. I will take care of her. No, Andrew and I said at the same time. She's coming home with me, Andrew said. When she is better, she can stay with you, Amy. Amy nodded and looked down at her feet. Why? Emma asked, looking at her brother. I will be fine, Andrew. I said no, he said strictly. You are hurt, and I am not letting you out of my sight. She opened her mouth to argue, but Andrew beat her to it. Don't even try, he said. I'm not changing my mind. She sighed and started getting up. She winced in pain and laid back down. I will carry you home, Emmy, Jacob said and started walking toward her bed. I growled loudly, startling everyone. Don't touch her, I said, glaring daggers at Jacob. Logan. Andrew started to speak, but I raised my hand, stopping him. I will carry her, I said in my alpha tone. All of them lowered their heads in submission. They can't go against my alpha command. I walked over to the bed and took Emma in my arms. Goddess, she fit perfectly. The tingles and sparks I felt were addicting. I never wanted to stop feeling this way. Goddess, I wanted this woman, but I couldn't have her. I needed to think about my pack. Her scent was mixed with Jacob's, and Leon was going crazy inside my head. I was not doing well either. I wanted to rub myself all over her. I wanted to make my scent the only one on her. I wanted to let them know who she belonged to. I walked out of the doctor's office. Everyone else was following behind me. I kept looking down at Emma, but she didn't look up at me once. She kept her gaze down on her hands. Goodbye, Emmy, Jacob said when we walked outside. I will call you later. I growled. Bye, Jake, she said with a big smile. I wanted her to smile like that at me. You tossed that opportunity away. Leon growled at me. I ignored him and waited for Amy to say goodbye to Emma. When she did, I started walking toward their house. Andrew was right beside me the whole time. He kept glancing at Emma, but she didn't look up at either of us the entire time. While I was walking, I couldn't help but notice how light Emma was. Is she eating enough? A few minutes later, we reached their house. We should have taken the car, but both Andrew and I ran toward the training grounds without thinking. Sienna was inside waiting for us. As soon as we walked inside, she ran toward me. Oh my goddess, Emma, she said with tears in her eyes. What happened? Emma didn't respond. She didn't even look at her. She kept her gaze on her hands, but I saw she was grinding her teeth together. She had an accident while sparring, Andrew answered instead of her. She has 2 broken ribs. Oh, Em, Sienna said. Don't worry, we will take care of you. No, Emma said and raised her head to look at Sienna. You won't be taking care of me, Sienna. I can take care of myself. Emma. I started to speak, but she cut me off. Take me upstairs, Logan, she said, not looking up at me. I clenched my jaw but did as she said. I walked upstairs to her room and placed her on the bed. Her scent here was amazing. I could breathe it in forever and it wouldn't be enough. When Andrew entered the room, she began to get up. What are you doing? I asked and grabbed her. I want to take a shower, she said, pulling away from me. Oh, please, baby, don't pull away from me. I needed to calm down. I nodded, and Andrew walked to her closet to grab her a few things. Take a shower, and I will make you something to eat, he said, looking at her strictly. I know you have been lying about eating as well. When is the last time you ate? I asked. No wonder she was so light. She hadn't been eating. She looked at us and sighed. My birthday. That was 2 days ago. She hadn't slept or eaten for 2 fucking days. and she decided it was a good idea to train. Goddess, this woman. I will bring you something to eat and I will watch you until you finish the entire thing. Andrew growled at her. She didn't say anything. She took her clothes from Andrew and walked slowly to her bathroom. Andrew and I went back downstairs. I breathed in her scent as much as I could. I will never have enough of it. Sienna was waiting for us downstairs. She looked sad and angry. "What's wrong?" I asked her as soon as we entered the kitchen. Andrew started to make lunch for Emma. He glanced at Sienna but didn't say a word. "I am really sad about what happened to Emma," she said. "But I am mad at you, Logan." I raised my eyebrows. "Why? She isn't your mate anymore," she said angrily. "You rejected her and chose me. You left me here and went running to her. And then you came back in here with her in your arms. How do you think I feel?" "She is hurt," I growled at her. "What was I supposed to do?" "She has a brother," she yelled and pointed at Andrew. "You could have let him go to her. Let him carry her." I clenched my fists. I wasn't going to let another male hold my mate when she was hurt. Brother or not, it wasn't happening. Sienna wouldn't understand. She was jealous of Emma. She loved her, but Emma being my mate and being so close to me was making Sienna insecure. What could I say to make it better? Could I say it was just the mate bond? "Sienna, I did choose you," I said through my teeth. "But she is hurt, and the mate bond made me go to her." Andrew tensed up at my words, but he didn't turn around or say anything. She sighed and sat down. "I can't wait for you to mark me, Logan. You won't feel the pull toward her then." I tensed up. I didn't want that. Goddess, this was the most difficult thing I'd ever had to do and will ever have to do. Leon was growling and whining inside my head. My heart hurt. My whole body was in pain. I just wanted that girl upstairs. But I had to do what was best for my pack. So I smiled forcefully at Sienna and gave her a little nod. Emma POV. When I got out of the shower, I could hear Sienna yelling at Logan. She was telling him that he should have left Andrew to take care of me. I couldn't hear what he said to her, but I didn't even want to. I shut them out completely. He was confusing the hell out of me. First, he rejected me, and then he was all jealous and growling at Jake. What was his plan anyway? Did he want to take Sienna as his mate and make me be alone forever because he couldn't stand to see another man around me? The most terrifying thing was that he could actually do that. Nobody could go against Alpha Command. He could just order every male wolf to stay away from me and they would have to obey him. I got dressed as carefully as I could. Pain was consuming my entire body. I didn't even know if it is physical or emotional anymore. I sat down on my bed and leaned on the headboard. I heard the front door open and close, and I prayed to the goddess that Logan and Sienna left. A few minutes later, I heard Andrew climbing up the stairs and walking to my room. He opened the door, and I saw that he was carrying the food tray. He brought me soup, steak, and vegetables. My stomach twisted inside me. I couldn't eat. Andrew placed the tray on my lap and gave me a stern look. "Eat," he said and sat down next to me. I slowly picked up a spoon and started eating the soup. My belly disagreed immediately. I frowned and stopped eating. "What are you doing?" Andrew growled. "I am sick," I said quietly. "Of course you are," he sighed. "You haven't eaten anything since your birthday. Your belly is shocked that you are finally eating." "Well, let's not shock my belly even more," I said and pushed the food tray away. Andrew growled loudly and pushed the tray back. "You will eat, Emma. Don't push me. You need to take a painkiller and I am not giving you one on an empty stomach." I sighed and picked the spoon back up. I ate about a half of what Andrew brought up for me, and after convincing him I was full and would burst if he made me eat more, he finally moved the food tray away. He gave me a painkiller and a glass of water. Why didn't you tell me you were having trouble sleeping? He asked me, taking the cup away and placing it on my nightstand. I shrugged. I don't know. You should have told me, he said. I looked at him and sighed. I didn't see how he could have helped me. Emma, you are all that I have in this world, he said seriously. No matter what is going on between us, you can always come to me with any problem that you are having. You are my sister, and it is my job and my privilege to take care of you. Why don't you believe me about Sienna? I asked him, and looked down at my hands. I didn't care if he got angry. I didn't care if he yelled at me. I had to know. I had to know why she was so important that he always dismissed what I told him about her. It couldn't be just because he thought that I was jealous of their relationship. I was his sister, his family. I should come first, right? I know she was his childhood friend, and he was having a hard time believing she could be like that, but shouldn't he believe me just a little? Again, Emma, he asked with annoyance in his voice. How do you expect me to come to you with my problems when you don't listen to me when I tell you about her? I asked and looked up at him. He sighed and ran his hand through his hair. I just can't believe that what you told me about her is true, he said. I've known her my whole life. I would have noticed something, Emma. She is very good at hiding it, I said quietly. Look, I know I spent a lot of time with her, he said and took my hand in his. But she can't ever take your place. Just because I spend more time with her doesn't mean she is more important to me. It is because we grew up together and she is closer to my age. Here we go with the jealousy again. I knew that he would say that. I wasn't worried about her taking my place. I was worried about her taking my life away. I pulled my hand away from his and crossed my arms over my chest. He sighed and put his hand on my thigh. She loves you very much, Em. Give her a chance. I know that this whole thing with Logan complicates things even more, but it is not her fault. Logan made his decision. She will be a great Luna, and you will always be able to count on her. We all will. She is getting sloppy, Andrew, I said, looking right at him. You will soon see that I am right. I just hoped that I wouldn't have to pay with my life before he did. He sighed and shook his head. You're tired. Let's just go to sleep, okay? He got up and walked out of my room. I leaned my head on the headboard and sighed. No matter what I said, he would never believe me. He would always choose her. Logan already did. Andrew came back into my room wearing short sweats. He closed the door and climbed in beside me. What are you doing? I asked. I'm sleeping here, he said. Just like when Mom and Dad died, and you couldn't sleep without me. He was right. I had nightmares after they died. I couldn't and wouldn't sleep without him here. It lasted for about a year. The difference was that back then I wanted him here. Now I didn't. You don't have to do that, I said. Get under the covers, Emma, he said, and turned off the lamp on the nightstand. It wasn't really that late. It was only 7 p.m., but being December, it was already dark outside, and as soon as he turned the lamp off, my room was completely dark. Don't you have beta business to do? I asked. It is still early. Logan gave me a day off to take care of you, he answered. Get under the covers and sleep. I sighed and did as he told me. I carefully pulled the covers over my body and tried to get comfortable. The painkiller I took was starting to make me numb, and it helped. Andrew took my hand in his and came closer to me. He always used to do that when I was little. I couldn't sleep without his hand in mine. I love you, Em, he said. I love you too. I whispered and let sleep take me. Emma POV. I woke up around 8 a.m. I had to be really tired if I slept over 12 hours. The space next to me was empty. Andrew has probably gone to the pack house already. My ribs were already hurting less. Being a wolf sure was great. I would be as good as new tomorrow. I sat up carefully and noticed a note on my nightstand. Link me when you wake up. I always forgot about mind linking. I wasn't used to it yet, but it was very handy. Andrew? I opened our mind link. M? How are you? He answered immediately. Good, better already. Where are you? West Border, he said. Pack stuff. Is it rogues again? I asked, slightly concerned. Yes, he said. But don't worry, it is under control. Okay, be careful. I will, Em. Eat something. We will be home soon, he said and closed our link. I sighed and carefully got out of bed. I walked to my bathroom and did my morning business. I brushed my teeth and took a quick shower. When I came back to my bedroom, Sienna was leaning on my desk with an evil smirk on her face. Shit. How does it feel to be helpless, little mouse? She asked. What do you want, Sienna? I asked angrily. I want you to stay away from Logan, bitch, she said and walked over to me. I backed away from her until I hit a wall. He is the one who came to me yesterday, I said. I didn't call for him. I don't care, she said, growling. Stay away. Why don't you tell him to stay away from me? I asked, and instantly regretted it. She ran the rest of the distance to me and grabbed the left side of my torso. She squeezed, and I screamed in pain. I told you not to disrespect your Luna. She growled. You never listen. She grabbed my hair with her other hand and lifted my face so I could look at her. I felt tears running down my cheeks. My ribs were screaming in pain and my breathing is uneven and fast. You will not be in my way for long, Emma, she said quietly. I have a perfect plan for you, and I can't wait for it to happen. She let go of me, and I crumbled on the floor. I sobbed quietly and tried to breathe deeply so the pain would go away. She was going to kill me soon. What should I do? Whom should I tell? Jake and Amy. But I didn't want her to hurt them. Jake would go after her and she could hurt him. No, I couldn't risk that. I couldn't be responsible for that. My mind was a total mess, and I didn't even notice that someone was screaming my name inside my head. I tried to focus on the voice, and I noticed Andrew and Logan trying to mind link me. I focused on my brother. Andrew? Emma, he yelled. Goddess, Emma, what the hell happened? Logan can feel your pain. He was screaming, and my head was hurting badly. It is okay. I slipped and hit the desk in my room. It hurts, but I will be okay, I said, trying to sound calm. I was scared shitless. Why didn't you answer our link immediately? He growled. The fall kind of shocked me. And I am still getting used to mind linking. I didn't even notice you were trying to talk to me, I said. Okay, I will be home soon. Stay in bed. And talk to Logan. Just to tell him you are fine. He's driving me crazy, he said. And closed our link. I sighed and opened my link with Logan. Alpha? I said. Goddess Emma, he yelled. That fucking hurt? Are you okay? Andrew told me what happened. And why are you calling me Alpha? Goddess, his voice was like a melody. As soon as I heard his voice, my ribs started hurting less. I am okay. Thank you for checking up on me, Alpha, I said, trying to keep it formal. To you, Emma, I am and always will be Logan, he said. I cut our mind link. I couldn't bear to hear his voice in my head anymore. It hurt my heart too much. I got off the floor slowly. My ribs felt better this morning, but now they hurt even more than yesterday. Maybe she broke them again. I walked to my desk where Andrew had left my painkillers and took 2 pills from the bottle. I took a cup from my nightstand and went to the bathroom to fill it with water. After I took the pills, I laid down on my bed and closed my eyes. Maybe I could sleep again. There was no way that I was going downstairs. That bitch was probably still here, and I didn't need her to attack me again. A few minutes later, I heard the front door open and close. 2 sets of heavy footsteps walked upstairs and into my room. I opened my eyes and saw a worried Andrew and Logan standing in front of me. Andrew walked over and sat next to me. "Let me see," he said and pulled my shirt up. Logan growled when he touched me. "Really? Even my brother?" I didn't even look up at him, and Andrew ignored his growl. "Shit. It is bruising again," he said. "When I checked you this morning, the bruise was mostly gone." "We should take her to the clinic," Logan said. I looked up at him. "No, I am fine. It will heal again." "Why did you get up?" Andrew asked me and pulled my shirt down. "You should have waited for me." "I had to go to the bathroom," I said. "It was an accident. It won't happen again." Andrew and Logan frowned at me. "Do you think you will be able to attend a formal dinner tomorrow night?" Logan changed the subject. "Yes, I should be okay by then." I nodded. "Who is coming?" "Alpha Drake of the Blood Moon Pack," Logan said. "As Beta's sister, you should be there, but maybe you should rest." "No." I shook my head. "I will go. I will be fine." Logan nodded and turned to Andrew. "Stay in today," he said. "Take care of her. If I need you, I will mind link you." "Are you sure?" Andrew asked. "Yes." Logan nodded. "She is more important than work right now. If anything comes up and I need your help, I will link. Don't worry." "Thanks, man," Andrew said. Logan started walking to the door. He turned to look at me before he left. "If you need me, mind link me. Please, Emma," he said. "I will see you tomorrow." I nodded. "Goodbye, Alpha." He looked at me with a sad expression. "It's Logan." I didn't respond. He sighed and walked out of my room. Andrew walked out behind him, and I heard them talking about the dinner with Alpha Drake before Logan walked out of our house. I sighed and closed my eyes. Logan POV. "Is everything ready?" I asked Andrew while looking at my calendar on my phone. "Alpha Drake should be here in a few hours." "Yes," he said. "Servants are fixing the table as we speak." "Patrols?" I asked, not looking up. "I have increased patrol on all borders," Andrew said. "I've talked to Lewis, and our best warriors are on standby if anything should happen. If the Rogue King finds out about the purpose of Drake's visit, he will attack." I growled and looked up at Andrew. "I thought about that," Andrew said calmly. "That is why we will not have the meeting here. I was thinking of the interrogation room down in the cellars. It is soundproof. It is the safest room in the pack house to discuss such a delicate matter. By the way, we should really soundproof our offices." This was the reason why Andrew was such a great beta. He always thought ahead, and I could always be sure he would come up with a great solution to any problem. I chuckled and nodded. "I will put it on the calendar." I stood up and walked to the window. Packhouse workers were coming in and out, carrying all the necessities for the dinner tonight. "Great thinking about the interrogation room, Andrew," I said and turned around. "Nobody can hear us. We can't risk information leaking out." He nodded, with a serious expression on his face. "I know. We can't risk anything. We need to find out what that fucker wants. I want to stop him and rip his throat out." When it came to the rogue problem, no wolf was more invested than Andrew. He had been searching for information and coming up with ideas to deal with rogue attacks better than any other pack member. Rogues killed his mother and father. He wanted revenge. I wanted it too. My father died as well. But I think Andrew was so invested because of Emma. He hated rogues because they took Emma's parents. He was practically an adult when they died, but she was a child. And she lost two of the most important people in her world. Andrew did a great job raising her, but he knew that she missed their parents. He couldn't replace them completely. "We will find out, and we will end it for good, man," I said and sat back down. He smiled and nodded. "How is Emma?" I asked the question I wanted to ask since I saw him this morning. It was killing me that I couldn't be with her. I haven't seen her since yesterday, and I already missed her so much. I knew that I shouldn't, but I did. And I really couldn't help myself. She is okay, he said inside. Her ribs are still a bit sensitive, but she is much better. Amy is with her right now, helping her to get ready. Good, I am glad she is better, I said. We talked about Sienna again. Andrew said. I knew that Emma had a problem with Sienna, and it wasn't just because I had chosen her to be my Luna. She had a problem with her long before that. Andrew told me that Emma complained to him that Sienna was being mean to her and calling her names, but Andrew and I never saw Sienna being mean to Emma. On the contrary, Sienna loved her. She always took care of her and showed nothing but love toward her. I really didn't know why Emma hated her so much. What happened now? I asked him. Same as before. He sighed. I guess it is worse now that you chose her as your Luna. It makes me sad that Emma doesn't like her, I said. Not just because she will be my Luna, but because she is our friend. I know, he said. I agree completely. I love Sienna and I just wish Emma would give her a chance. Maybe we should talk to her about it, I suggested. I don't want other pack members to hear her say something like the other day, especially after Sienna becomes our Luna. I will have to punish her. The pack law is clear on that matter, and I won't be able to do that. She is my mate. We will talk to her, Andrew said, but give it a few days. She has a lot on her plate right now, and I want to give her some time to accept everything. I nodded. Sure. We will do it when she calms down a bit. Andrew smiled and got up. I'm going home to change. I will be back in an hour. I nodded. Don't be late. We have to welcome Alpha Drake together. I won't, he said. See you later. He left my office, and I went back to finishing a few things related to pack business before I had to go and get dressed. Time flew by, and I was pulled away from my work by a knock on my office door. Andrew peeked inside. You're still not dressed? He frowned. Alpha Drake will be here in an hour. Shit, I muttered. I lost track of time. Well, hurry up, Andrew said and walked over to my desk. Do you need me to finish something for you? No, man, thanks, I said and stood up. Go downstairs and make sure everything is ready. I'll be down in half an hour. He nodded, and we left my office together. He was walking downstairs when I stopped him. Andrew, I called him. Is Emma here? Not yet, he answered, looking up at me. But she will be here soon. I nodded and walked over to my bedroom. I took a quick shower and went inside my walk-in closet to get dressed. I put on my black dress pants, black shoes, and white button-up shirt. I left the last two buttons open and rolled up the sleeves. I looked at myself in the mirror and fixed my hair. I looked good. I walked downstairs and made sure everything was ready for Alpha Drake's arrival. Emma POV. I was sitting in my room waiting for Amy to come over and help me get ready for dinner tonight. My ribs felt so much better. I still needed to be careful when I moved, but it didn't hurt nearly as much as the first day. Thankfully, I haven't had any more encounters with Sienna since the day she broke my ribs all over again. She hadn't been coming to the house since then, and I had never felt more at peace. Somehow, I knew it wouldn't last long, though. I was pulled out of my thoughts by the knock on the front door. I looked at my watch and saw it was only 2 p.m. Amy was coming over at 4 p.m. Who could that be? I walked downstairs and opened the door. Jake was standing there, smiling at me. Jake, I said with a big grin on my face. Come in, I missed you. I missed you too, beautiful, he said, and walked by me to enter our living room. He sat down on the couch and looked up at me. What are you doing here? I asked, and closed the front door. He motioned for me to take a seat on the couch. I walked over and sat beside him. Emma, I need to talk to you about something very important, he said seriously. I sat up straighter and nodded. I want to take you as my chosen mate, he said, and took my hands in his. I couldn't say that I was surprised. We have talked about this before, but as soon as he said those words, I felt nervous and sad. Eliza was whining inside of me, telling me that he wasn't our mate and that we didn't belong to him. She wasn't wrong, but our true mate didn't want us. And not that long ago, I wanted Jake to be my mate. I liked him. But I couldn't shake this feeling that I didn't belong to him. Maybe it was too early. Maybe I needed more time. Jake, I spoke softly. You know I like you, right? I wanted you to be my mate, and I was devastated when we discovered we weren't mates. I do want you as my chosen mate, but it is too soon for me. I need more time, Jake. Why, Emma? He asked, with sadness in his voice. I have talked to your brother about this. He said to wait and see if you would find your true mate. You did. And he has done the stupidest thing ever and rejected you. What is stopping you now, beautiful? I sighed and looked down at my hands in his. I am not sure, Jake. I just know now is not the right time. I like you and I want to do this right. I don't want to hurt you. And I would be hurting you if I wasn't 100% committed to you. And right now, I know I won't be. I understand, he said quietly. I love you, Emma. Take as much time as you need. I will be here, waiting. I looked up at him and smiled. I hugged him, and he pulled my body to his. Thank you, Jake, I whispered in his shoulder. He let go of me and stood up. I better go. Amy tells me you're going to that formal dinner for Alpha Drake tonight. I nodded. Yes. As Beta's sister, it is expected of me to attend. Amy is coming over to help me get ready. Goddess, Emma, he said, stunned. I was so nervous about talking to you about being my chosen mate that I completely forgot about your ribs. How are you? He asked, as he pulled me up and touched my left side gently. I chuckled. It's okay, Jake. I am fine. I'm still a little bit sore, but nothing like that first day. I was so mad at you. He frowned. I don't like to see you hurt, and it angers me that you put yourself at risk. I know. I could tell by the stern look you were giving me the whole time. I said and laughed. Don't do that ever again, he said softly, and pulled me to him. I won't, I promise, I said. He kissed my forehead and let me go. I will see you tomorrow, beautiful, he said, and let me go. He walked to the front door and gave me a big smile before he walked out. I ran upstairs to shower before Amy came over. I didn't bother choosing my clothes because I knew that Amy wanted to do that for me. She loved it when I let her dress me up, and I found it amusing. She got all girly and excited, and I loved it. I was sitting on my bed, going through my phone, when I heard Andrew walk inside the house. He came over to my bedroom and opened the door. Hey, little one, he smiled. When is Amy coming over? Soon, I said and smiled back. When should I get there? Around 6 p.m., he said. I'm going to get dressed and head back. I need to be there early. Okay, I said, just as the doorbell rang. I will let Amy inside, Andrew said and left my room. A few moments later, a very excited Amy came into my room. Emmy, she yelled and ran over to hug me. I'm so excited, let's get started. I laughed and let her do her magic. After about half an hour, I heard Andrew yell goodbye and he left the house. Amy and I chatted the whole time, and I ended up telling her about what happened with Sienna. Oh, goddess Emma, she yelled and stopped applying my eyeliner. You should tell somebody. I am afraid of what she will do to you. No, Amy. I shook my head. I tried. Andrew just doesn't want to believe me. I just hope Logan will mark her soon so she will stop feeling threatened by me. I don't know, Emma, she said. She is one crazy bitch. I laughed. You're not wrong. But don't worry. I will tell you or Jake if I can't handle her. She eyed me with concern, but she nodded and went back to applying my makeup. Half an hour later, I was done. Amy hugged me and kissed my cheek. She told me repeatedly how hot and beautiful I looked before she had to go home. I looked at myself in the mirror and smiled. She had chosen a strapless black dress with a heart-shaped neckline. It fell just above my knee. It was really tight, and it felt like second skin. I was wearing black heels and a small black purse. She curled my hair in soft waves that fell down to the middle of my back. My makeup was minimal. Thin eyeliner, mascara, and a soft rose lipstick completed the look. She put a small amount of perfume on my neck and wrists. I looked amazing. I had never felt more beautiful than I did right then. I put my coat on, took a deep breath, and headed toward the pack house. Logan POV. Everything was going smoothly so far. Alpha Drake, his beta Josh, and his 5 warriors arrived half an hour ago. I introduced them to my mother, Andrew, Sienna, and my head of patrol, Lewis. We were standing in the living room with drinks in our hands, waiting for dinner to be served. I was with Andrew, Alpha Drake, and his beta Josh. We were drinking my best whiskey and chatting about everything. "Your chosen mate is very pretty, Logan," Drake said. I looked over at Sienna, who was standing with my mother and chatting. She was wearing a red dress and red high heels. She was smiling brightly, and I couldn't deny that she really was a pretty she-wolf. I turned back to Drake and nodded. "She is. She is very kind. She will be a great Luna." "I have no doubt," he said politely. "I wish I was as brave as you to take a chosen mate." "Well, I had to do what's best for my pack," I said quietly. He smiled and nodded. I noticed that he suddenly looked behind me and gasped, his eyes widening. "Goddess, have mercy," he said quietly. "Who the hell is that?" I turned and looked behind me. What I saw almost made me come right then and there. Emma. She was wearing a black dress that let me see each and every curve of her small body. Her hair looked like silk, and it was touching her lower back gently. Her face was glowing, and I couldn't stop looking at her. I could see her smooth skin, and I wondered what it tasted like. Was it just like her smell? Strawberries and watermelon? My heart was pounding in my chest, and I just wanted to grab her and taste her. Andrew's voice pulled me back. "She is my sister, Alpha Drake." "Well, Beta Andrew, I don't think I have ever seen a she-wolf as beautiful as your sister," Drake said lustfully. I turned back and narrowed my eyes at him. Leon was growling inside my head, and if he didn't stop staring at her, I was going to kill him. He hadn't taken his eyes off her since she walked in. "Calm down, man." Andrew mind-linked me. "You don't want to start a war." "I want to rip his eyes out," I growled back. "I am not letting him touch her," he said, "but you need to calm down." I looked over my shoulder and saw that my mom was hugging Emma and smiling brightly at her. They started talking, and my mom led Emma to the bar to get her a drink. "Does she have a mate?" Drake asked Andrew. I growled quietly. If Drake wasn't busy staring at my mate and drooling, he would have definitely heard me growl. I wanted to kill him. "No, she doesn't have a mate, Alpha Drake," Andrew said calmly. "But she turned 18 just a few days ago, so she didn't have much time to find him. She has a mate. It is us." Leon was screaming inside my head. I ignored him to listen to their conversation. "I have to say I am disappointed she is not mine," Drake said, still looking at her. "But she is the first girl that made me think about taking a chosen mate. Who wouldn't want her?" I was going to kill him. I clenched my fists and started shaking. "Logan, calm down," Andrew screamed inside my head. "All due respect, Alpha Drake, but she should have an opportunity to try and find her true mate," Andrew said calmly. "If she doesn't in a few years, I won't have a problem with her taking a chosen mate. But until then, I must tell you no." Drake smiled and looked back at him. "I understand, Beta Andrew. She is young, and she should have a chance to find him. Her true mate is one lucky son of a bitch. I would give anything to have your sister by my side. And I am not just saying that because she is beautiful. I can feel how powerful she is. It would be an honor to have her as my Luna. After his little speech, I was stunned and out of breath. Hearing another man say that he would be honored to have her by his side was making me feel like the biggest idiot on this planet. "Thank you, Alpha Drake," Andrew said. "It is nice to hear you say that about my sister." I turned to look at her again, and she was smiling brightly. She was so beautiful it hurt. I needed to touch her. Leon was going to get out if I didn't. I turned back to Andrew and Drake. Both of them were looking at my mate. Drake lustfully, Andrew with love. "I need to talk to Emma for a second. Will you excuse me?" I said and walked away, not waiting for their response. I walked up to her and my mom. "Emma, can I talk to you?" She looked at me slightly confused, but she nodded. I walked outside to the back terrace and mind-linked Andrew to tell him not to let anyone disturb us. "Don't do anything stupid, Logan," he growled. I ignored him and closed our link. As soon as we were alone and out of sight, I grabbed her and pushed her against the wall. I placed my hands on each side of her head, trapping her. I bent down so I could be face to face with her. She was looking at me, wide-eyed. I could hear her breathing pick up and her body unconsciously moved closer to mine. "Fuck. What the hell are you wearing?" I growled at her. "A dress," she said softly. Goddess, even her voice was turning me on. "I am the only one who should see you like this," I said sternly. "Why?" she asked me, furrowing her eyebrows. "You are not my mate anymore, Logan. There will be another man in my life who will see even more of me." "No fucking way." I lost it. I grabbed her and pulled her to me. She gasped quietly, and I could see her eyes widening even more. I leaned down and started kissing her. Goddess. She tasted so much better than I ever thought she would. She moaned, and I took the opportunity to enter her mouth. My tongue touched hers, and, Goddess, it was a feeling like no other. She was sweet, addicting, and mine. She tasted just like strawberries and watermelon, my two favorite flavors. I didn't know how I would ever stop kissing her. My dick was rock hard, and I kept grinding my hips on her to show her what she did to me. I could smell her arousal, and it was driving me crazy. She wrapped her hands around my neck, and I moved my hand up and down her body, feeling each and every one of her curves. Fuck, she was amazing. Leon was jumping up and down. He has never been happier than right now. Everything felt right. She belonged here in my arms. She was mine. "Dinner is ready," I heard my mom's voice in my head. Shit, I didn't want to go back. I didn't want to let her go. I wanted to stay here with her forever. She stopped kissing me and pulled back. We were both panting hard. She was looking at my chest, and I tilted her head slowly so I could see her amazing eyes. "You are mine," I said softly. "No man in this world will ever see or touch what's mine." She didn't respond, but I could see the pain in her eyes. "Dinner is ready," she said quietly, and walked away from me. I followed her inside the dining room, and we both sat down at our assigned places. Emma POV. I was still shaking. I could still feel his lips on mine and his hands on my body. Goddess, I never wanted him to stop kissing me and touching me. Nothing will ever feel that good. When I sat down at the table, I could see Andrew eyeing me suspiciously, and I gave him a little smile. I looked around the table and saw that Sienna was giving me a death glare. I kept thinking that everybody knew what we did outside. I took a deep breath to calm myself. Nobody knew. I was being ridiculous. My gaze stopped at a pair of brown eyes I haven't seen before. They belonged to a huge man, and I instantly knew he was Alpha Drake. He was looking at me with a small smile on his lips. "What is your name, beautiful?" he asks me. "It is Emma, Alpha Drake." I said and bowed my head in respect. Well, Emma, I was telling your brother earlier that I would gladly take you as my chosen mate. You are stunning, he said. Every wolf in the room turned to look at him. Everybody was shocked that he would publicly claim something like that. Mate issue, and especially chosen mate issue, was a private family thing. It was discussed behind closed doors and announced publicly when the bond was forged. I looked at my brother. Did he agree? I was terrified. Calm down, little one. I am not letting him near you. I made it very clear to him. He mind-linked me, and I immediately relaxed. I turned back to look at Alpha Drake, who was smiling brightly at me. Logan was staring at him, and I was pretty sure he would kill him if he continued talking about making me his. Don't worry, little wolf, Alpha Drake said when nobody else said a word. Your brother told me you still haven't found your true mate, and he wants to give you the opportunity to find him. But if you don't, please come find me. It would be a great honor to have a Luna as beautiful and powerful as you. Logan was going to lose it. He was shaking, and I was pretty sure that he was seconds away from shifting. For Goddess' sake, he would start a war. Thankfully, Alpha Drake was staring at me, and he hadn't noticed that Logan is ready to kill him. Sienna was glaring between Alpha Drake and me, and I didn't know who she would like to kill first. He wounded her ego when he called me beautiful and powerful. Not that I was, though. I needed to calm Logan before he did something stupid. Logan, please calm down. I mind-linked him. I will never be his. His eyes snapped to me and I could see him relax. Thank Goddess. I didn't want him to ruin an alliance because of me. And it was not Alpha Drake's fault. I was an unmated she-wolf. I was fair game. I averted my gaze back to Alpha Drake. Thank you, Alpha. You are very kind. He smiled brightly at me and thankfully changed the subject. I looked down at my plate and started eating. From that moment on, conversation was mainly about pack business. Alpha Drake was interested in the way Logan was running things around here. I could feel Alpha Drake glancing at me all night long. Logan was watching him like he was ready to kill him any second. We had just finished eating dessert when Luna Gloria called my name. Emma, honey, can you give me a hand with something, please? She asked me. I smiled and nodded. Of course, Luna. I stood up and I could feel Logan's eyes roaming all over my body. Even his gaze left tingles and sparks all over. I walked behind Luna Gloria, wondering why she needed my help. She led me to the bathroom and closed the door behind me. I looked at her confused. Why were we here in the bathroom of all places? She smiled at me and walked closer. Are you my son's mate? I froze and stared at her. What should I say? It is okay, honey, I know. I can tell, she said and took my hands in hers. How? I asked quietly. He is looking at you like you're everything in his world. She smiled. But then her face scrunched up and she sighed. But I don't understand why he took a chosen mate if he found you. I sighed and told her everything that had happened since my birthday. When I was finished, she was completely pissed off. That idiot, she growled. He is my son and I love him. But he is a complete and total idiot if he rejected you. I smiled and she continued growling. He thinks you are weak, she said through her teeth, and that Sienna is stronger? She will ruin him, ruin this pack. She is going to be the worst Luna there ever was. I narrowed my eyes at her, confused. You don't like Sienna? Oh, honey, no, she said, looking at me. I can see how fake she is. She is only after power. I tried talking to Logan, but he just didn't want to listen. I sighed. Thank Goddess. I was not the only one that saw Sienna for who she really was. I tried talking to Andrew about her as well, I told her. No luck. She shook her head and wrapped me in a hug. They are stubborn as hell, but they will see reason. Logan will come to his senses. He will realize you are what he needs, not that bitch Sienna. I laughed at Luna. Gloria calling Sienna a bitch. She was always so calm and collected. It was necessary. She was a Luna. Calling someone a bitch was totally not a Luna thing. But it was nice to know that she agreed with me. Sienna really was a bitch. He made his decision, Aunt Gloria, I said, still wrapped in her hug. He chose her, and there is nothing I or anyone else can do about it. She let me go and took my face in her hands. She looked into my eyes and smiled. He will realize his mistake, trust me, she said. I didn't know what to say to her, so I just stayed silent. I didn't think that would happen. The pack always came first to Logan, and he thought that she was better for his pack than I was. Emma, we're going home. I heard Andrew's voice in my head. Where are you? I'm in the bathroom. I linked him back. I will be right out. I have to go, I said to Aunt Gloria. Andrew is looking for me. She nodded and took my hand in hers. We walked to the front door. Logan, Alpha Drake, and Sienna were saying goodbye to my brother. When we approached them, Sienna gave me a murderous look. Alpha Drake smiled at me, and Logan was undressing me with his eyes. I walked to my brother, and he took my hand in his. We grabbed our jackets and my purse and went to our car. I fell asleep on the drive home. The last thing I remembered was two strong hands carrying me to my bed. My brother kissed my forehead and covered me up. I fell into a deep sleep. Emma POV. I woke up feeling really uncomfortable. I groaned and turned on my back, removing the covers from my body. I looked down and saw I was still in my dress. Shit, Andrew didn't wake me up to change into my pajamas. I got up and headed to the bathroom. I brushed my teeth and removed my makeup. I took off my dress and hopped under the shower. The warm water soothed me, and I didn't want to leave. Memories of Logan's kiss came rushing back. I felt tingles spread through my body and the area between my legs started throbbing. Shit, Logan. Why did you do that? Why did you show me how good it can be when I know I will never have it again? I sighed and turned the shower off. I got out, dried my body with a towel and put lotion on. I went back to my bedroom and got dressed. I can't train yet, but I decided to go to the training grounds, watch Amy and Jake train, and hang out with them after. Just like we always do. I need it. I need a sense of normality. I put on black tights, my favorite gray hoodie, and sneakers. I let my hair fall down freely and put a little bit of lip gloss on my lips. I couldn't hear Andrew. He has probably already left for his meeting. I decided to grab a cup of coffee before leaving. I don't want to eat anything. My appetite is not great still. I walked downstairs to my kitchen and froze as soon as I walked inside. Sienna was there with an evil smirk on her face. She looked behind me and nodded. Before I could turn around, I felt something cold wrap around my wrists, silver handcuffs. I instantly lost my connection with Eliza. I couldn't use the mind link anymore. Before I could scream, a large hand was roughly placed over my mouth. It is a rogue wolf. I could smell him. They have a unique smell. I looked at Sienna, my eyes wide, my heart beating painfully in my chest. Well, hello there, little Emma, she said, smirking. It is time to get rid of you. The rogue wolf chuckled behind me, and I could feel his nose in my hair. Goddess Sienna, do we really need to kill her? Can I keep her? She smells fantastic. He growled. My stomach twisted, and I felt bile rising. You can't have her until Logan marks me, she said calmly. He will feel it if you touch her or kill her. After he makes me his Luna, you can do to her whatever you want. After that, kill the little brat. I sobbed, and tears started to fall on my cheeks and Rogue's hands. Sienna reached into her purse, pulled the duct tape out, and gave it to the Rogue. He tore off a piece and taped it over my mouth. It was so quick I couldn't say anything. I couldn't even take a breath. Sobs wrecked my body, but they were muffled by the tape over my mouth. Rogue threw me on the floor, and I fell to my knees. I looked up at Sienna. "I know you are probably thinking that your brother and Logan will look for you," she said with a smirk. "But you are wrong. You see, each time you complained about me or insulted me, you dug your own grave. Rolf here will hit me. He will take you away. And after a few hours, I will mind-link Logan, telling him you attacked me and ran away, saying you would rather be a rogue than have me as your Luna. After your apparent hate for me, they will have no reason to doubt my words. She is right." A panicked sob ripped through my body. "They will never look for me. They think I hate Sienna and will believe her. I will die. I will never see my brother again. He will think I have become the one thing he hates, a rogue. He will think I became the thing that killed our parents. My heart is breaking in my chest and I can't breathe. My vision is blurred with my tears." "You should be glad," Sienna said. "Your brother and Logan will be free of you. You are only a burden to Andrew. He was so young and he was left with you. He hates that. You ruined his life. He told me he never wanted to take care of you. He only did it because that bitch Luna Gloria told him he had to. He will be happy you are gone, trust me." I sobbed quietly and lowered my head. I don't want to believe her. My brother loves me. I know he does. She is lying. But it still hurts like hell. What if she is right? Did I really ruin his life? He was so young when he started taking care of me. He couldn't live like a young wolf should. He had a responsibility. Me. And Logan will be thrilled. Sienna continued. He thinks you're weak, but he can't fight the bond and it is making him furious. Now he will think you betrayed him and his pack, and he will hate you. He will finally be mine and you will be gone. I didn't even look up at her. I will die and everybody that matters to me will hate me. I will leave this life being hated by the people I love most. They will never know the truth. Dying doesn't scare me, but being hated by my brother, my only family in this world, does. I wish I could tell him I love him one last time. I wish I could tell him the truth. I wish he wouldn't hate me. But I know he will. I just hope Logan marks her soon. I don't want to be in the presence of this rogue wolf. I don't want to live with this pain for long. I want it to end. Goodbye, Emma, Sienna said coldly. I will take care of your brother and Logan for you. I felt a needle stab my neck and I fell into darkness. Logan POV. I was sitting in the interrogation room down in the cellars. Andrew was next to me, and we were waiting for Alpha Drake and his beta Josh to arrive. I was nervous about what he had to tell me. I just hoped that, whatever it was, I would have a solution for it. The door opened and Alpha Drake and Beta Josh walked in. They sat opposite us, and I walked over to lock the door. Don't disturb us unless it is an emergency, I told my guard that was standing outside the door. Knock 2 times if you need us. Yes, Alpha, he said and nodded. I closed the door and locked it. I walked back to the table and sat down. Okay, Alpha Drake, I said seriously. I am listening. Well, as you know, we managed to capture a rogue that attacked my pack. He started talking. We got him to talk to us, and what he said made me really afraid. I gulped and looked at Andrew. Alpha saying that he was afraid was considered weak, and we all avoided it. An alpha should be strong, dominating, and calm in dangerous situations. Drake admitting that he was afraid, especially in front of another alpha, was making me nervous. Whatever the reason behind the attacks was, it had to be bad when Drake was afraid and admitting it to me. I looked back at him and nodded. Continue, please. We all notice that rogues are attacking those packs that have young, unmated alphas, he said, looking right at me. Your pack and mine are one of these packs. I nodded, and he continued. Rogue King believes that one of us has a true mate that is very powerful, he continued. Dark Witch told him that there will be a she-wolf mated to an alpha, and they will be the most powerful mated couple. She will make his pack strong, and together they will create a new line of stronger, more powerful wolves. Does she have magic? I asked, confused. No, he said and shook his head. She will be the most charismatic leader ever. People will love her, as they never loved a Luna before. All the traits that a Luna has are more dominant in that she-wolf than any other. She cares more, understands more, and is willing to give herself for her pack more than any other Luna. Her power will come from the love her people will have for her. She is a true Luna. I gulped and looked at Andrew. He was staring at Drake, not breathing. What is his plan? I asked, and looked back at Drake. He wants that she-wolf, he answered. His plan is to take her and make her his Luna. He wants to mate with her and produce descendants who will be more powerful, and he thinks he will be able to take over our packs. I was shaking and I couldn't breathe. What if that she-wolf was Emma? Could she be strong and powerful? I never felt any power coming from her. I didn't believe that she was strong. That was the main reason I rejected her and chose Sienna to be my Luna. Neither you nor I have found our true mates, Drake continued. But it makes me terrified that she is in danger, whoever she is. I don't even know her yet, and it makes my blood boil that maybe my mate is the one, and that fucker wants her for himself. I don't even know what I would do if I knew who she was. I would probably try to lock her inside my body where I know she would be safe. My hands were shaking, and I couldn't even look up at Drake. I could feel how tense Andrew was. If there was any chance that this was about Emma, he would rip everyone apart. He already hated rogues so much. I completely agreed with Drake. I wanted to leave this room and find Emma. I needed her safe before I lost my mind. Do they know anything about that she-wolf? Andrew asked, his voice trembling. How will the Rogue King know that she is the one? Drake nodded. The rogue we captured said that they were instructed to search for a pure white wolf. Andrew stood up, growling so loud that we had to cover our ears. He grabbed the chair he was sitting on and threw it into a wall. I looked up at him, shocked. What the hell was going on? His reaction could only mean one thing. No, hell no! He was growling, pulling his hair and hitting every surface his fist could reach. It was only a matter of time before he started hitting us. Drake, Josh, and I stood up and grabbed Andrew. Drake was standing behind him, wrapping his hands around his chest. Andrew's eyes were pitch black, and his canines were on display. Andrew, calm down, I tell him. What is going on? Please tell me that I was wrong. He was breathing heavily and still growling. Josh picked up the chair Andrew threw and placed it back. Drake forced him to sit down, placing his hands on Andrew's shoulders, keeping him seated. Andrew, I called him. Tell me. It is Emma. He growled. She is a pure white wolf. My world stopped spinning. No, not her. Please, goddess, not her. If anything happened to her. But how? Beta Josh asked, confused. She is not your mate. You told us yesterday that you chose a mate because you couldn't find your true one. Before I could answer him, 2 knocks on the door interrupted us. Alpha, I am sorry. It is an emergency, my guard said. I growled and walked to the door, unlocking it. What? I asked, annoyed. Alpha, your friend Sienna just got attacked, he said. I gasped and turned around to look at Andrew. He got up and walked over to us. What? He growled. I don't know any details, Alpha and Beta. The guard said. She tried to mind link both of you, but as you were in here, she couldn't. She linked Luna and told her what happened. Luna went to help her. They are in the pack house now. I turned to look at Drake and Josh. We will continue this later, I said. They both nodded. Go take care of your Luna, Drake said. Andrew and I walked away quickly. Logan POV. I walked inside the living room and saw Sienna sitting on the couch. My mom was sitting on the sofa with a frown on her face. What the hell happened? I growled and sat beside Sienna. I took her face in my hands and saw that she had a huge wound on her head. It started healing slowly, but it was still bleeding. Andrew sat on the other sofa and looked worriedly at Sienna. Who did this? Andrew asked her. Sienna sobbed quietly. I am sorry, Andrew. Why are you sorry, Sienna? He asked. What happened? It was Emma, she said quietly, looking down at her hands. I froze. What? Emma did this. Why? Andrew growled loudly. What? Why would she do that? I looked at my mom and she was frowning at Sienna. Why was she looking at her like that? I went over to your house to try and talk to her. Sienna started talking. She was leaving to go somewhere and she got terribly mad when she saw me. She yelled at me that I took Logan away from her. I tried talking to her, letting her know it wasn't my intention to do that, but she refused to listen. She insulted me a couple of times and I got angry as well. I told her she shouldn't talk to her future Luna like that. She lost it then. She hit me and said she would rather be a rogue than have me as her Luna. Both Andrew and I looked at her with a shocked expression on our faces. Emma wasn't a violent person. I couldn't believe that she would do that. My mom growled quietly, her gaze fixed on Sienna. Where is she? Andrew growled. She ran away into the woods, Andrew, Sienna said, sobbing. I think she crossed the border. I think she is a rogue now. I gasped loudly. No. Andrew was frozen. He was staring at Sienna, and I didn't think that he was breathing. She wouldn't do that, I said. She wouldn't become a rogue. She knows what that would do to Andrew. We have to find her. She couldn't have crossed the border. I rambled on. I didn't think anybody was listening to me. She is missing, a voice interrupted me. I turned around and saw Drake and Josh standing behind us. They were furious. She is not missing, Sienna said angrily. She attacked me, her future Luna, and ran away to become a rogue. Andrew growled loudly and stood up. He started pacing the room and pulling his hair. That doesn't sound like Emma, Drake said. You met her yesterday, Sienna said, annoyed. You don't even know her. Maybe I don't. He growled at her. But I am a great judge of character, and Emma is good and kind, and she would never attack you. I don't believe a word you're saying. I stood up and growled back at Drake. Be careful. Do not speak to my future Luna like that. All due respect, Alpha Drake, but Emma is not as kind as you think she is, Sienna said quietly. She recently insulted me. Ask Andrew and Logan, they heard it. She was right. Emma did yell at Sienna. I wonder what you said to her to deserve it. Drake spat back at her. I growled at him, but was interrupted when Lewis walked through the door. Beta Andrew, you called for me, he said. Yes, Lewis. Andrew said quickly, I need you to take every man in our pack and search the entire forest for my sister. Emma? He asked, surprised. What happened to her? We will explain later, I said. I need you to go now. I need you to find her and bring her back. Go outside the territory as well. He paled slightly. He understood immediately that she might be a rogue now. Going outside the pack's territory without a valid reason and Alpha's approval meant that you chose to be a rogue. He nodded and quickly left the house. Drake growled and turned to his beta. Get our warriors. We are going after her. Josh nodded and went outside. I could see his eyes clouding. He was using a mind link to talk to his warriors. Drake turned to me. She is your mate, isn't she? Your true mate? I nodded, and he frowned at me. You rejected her? I nodded again. I couldn't even speak now. My heart was clenching painfully. I couldn't even reach Leon. I didn't want to look at my mom. I could feel her eyes digging a hole in my head. She was furious. "Why?" he growled. "Because she is a weak wolf," Sienna answered for me. "Logan knew she wouldn't be a good, strong Luna, and he chose me instead." Drake's eyes widened in shock. "Is she serious?" "Yes." I finally spoke. "I thought she wouldn't be a strong Luna. I had to think about my pack and I decided to reject her." Drake turned to Andrew. His face was a mixture of shock and anger. "And you let it happen?" Andrew stayed quiet, but I could see his pain. I didn't think that I had ever seen him this distraught. He was clenching his fists, shaking and breathing heavily. If something happened to her, I didn't know how he would react. I didn't know how I would react. I couldn't live without her. She was my world. I needed her here. When Andrew didn't respond, Drake chuckled darkly. "You two are incredible. I met her yesterday and I saw what she is better than you ever did. You had the purest, kindest soul right in front of you and you both took her for granted. I just hope she is okay." He stormed out and slammed the door shut. What he said hit me hard. Andrew as well. I could see a tear falling down his cheek. "I am sorry she ran away, Logan," Sienna said, looking up at me sadly. "But should we really look for her? She decided to become a rogue." Andrew growled. "We will find her. She is not and will not become a rogue. Over my dead body. We will find her, and she will be punished for attacking you. But I will not let her make herself a rogue. That is not the punishment I want for her." "You should go home, Sienna," my mom said coldly. "Go get some rest. You really need it." "Thank you, Luna Gloria." Sienna smiled at my mom. "Logan, will you assign a guard for me, in case Emma comes back?" My mom growled and frowned at Sienna. I looked at her confused. What was wrong with her? Why was she growling and frowning at Sienna? "Of course, Sienna," I said. "But you don't have to worry. Emma will not hurt you again." She smiled and gave me a kiss on the cheek. She walked over to Andrew and gave him a hug before leaving the pack house. Andrew POV. It had been a few hours since we started our search for her. We found nothing. Not a damn thing. It was going to get dark soon, and it was cold outside, and I didn't want her to be out here all alone. I was going crazy. Asher was whining and growling, and he couldn't calm down. His sister, his little pup, was missing. I couldn't control him or talk to him. He couldn't manage to form a meaningful sentence. I kept wondering about Sienna. Everything Emma ever said about her was coming back to me. Was Emma telling the truth? Was Sienna lying about what happened today? I hoped not. Because that would mean I let her bully my sister for years, and I never realized it, never believed her. That would make me a terrible brother, and I didn't know how I would live with myself if that was true. Logan couldn't sense her wolf, but he knew that she was alive. That was the only thing that was keeping me sane. I didn't know why Leon couldn't sense Eliza. Maybe because of the distance. Their bond wasn't complete, and the distance was making it hard for Leon to find Eliza. Distance shouldn't matter, but it was the only thing that made sense. Logan and I were walking next to each other. We couldn't shift into our wolves because we feared that we wouldn't be able to control them right now. They were both hurt and aggressive, a deadly combination. I felt like I could kill somebody just by looking at them right now. Asher could do so much more. It was better that I had control. "Beta Andrew?" I heard a voice in my head. It was the guard that stayed at the pack house. "Yes, Mark?" I linked him back. "Amy Johnson is here looking for you. She says it is urgent and she needs to talk to you right now," he said. "Does she know something about Emma?" I asked, my heart rate picking up. They were best friends. Emma could have told her something. Amy might knew where she was. I couldn't believe that we haven't talked to her or Jacob already. We totally forgot about that. All I wanted to do was run to the forest and follow her scent. When we searched the house, we found Emma's phone and all the important stuff. She didn't take any money or her credit card with her. She ran away with the clothes she had on her. She didn't even have a jacket. I knew because I counted all her jackets. She was out here somewhere and she was cold. She says, "Yes, Beta," Mark answered. I grabbed Logan's arm, startling him. "Mark linked me," I said excitedly. "Emma's friend Amy is at the pack house. She wants to talk to me. She knows something about Emma." His eyes widened and we both started running back to the pack house. It felt like we had been running for hours, but it had only been about 15 minutes. We weren't that far out in the woods. We both ran inside. Amy was sitting on a couch talking to Aunt Gloria. They looked up at us and I saw sadness in their eyes. "Sit down, boys," Aunt Gloria said quietly. Logan and I exchanged looks and did as she said. I was shaking and I could see Logan clenching his fists. "What do you know, Amy?" Logan asked. "Where is Emma?" "I don't know where she is," she said quietly, "but I do know who took her." Logan and I looked at each other, confused. "She wasn't taken, Amy," I said. "She ran away." Amy shook her head. "No, she would never do that. She would never do that to you, Andrew. Even if she had hit Sienna, she would have stayed and taken her punishment. But she didn't hit her, and she didn't run away." "Did the Rogue King find out about her? Did he take her?" I looked at Logan, and I knew he was thinking the same thing. "It was Sienna," Amy said after neither Logan nor I spoke. I narrowed my eyes at her. Logan growled. "Be careful, Amy," Logan said. "You are accusing a future Luna." "I know, Alpha," she said calmly. "And I still stand by what I said. Sienna is a terrible person. She has been bullying Emma for a very long time now. It started with insults and hurtful words. But after she found out that Emma was Alpha Logan's mate, she took it to another level." I started shaking. Asher was growling. My heart was beating a mile a minute. "What do you mean, Amy?" Logan asked, his voice trembling. "Do you remember that day when we were at the diner and you walked in and Emma was covered in bruises and scrapes? Those were from a training session. But she also had a big bruise on her hand. Do you remember that?" she asked. Logan and I both nodded. "She didn't get that at the session," Amy said. "Sienna slapped her that day. And when Emma fell down, Sienna stepped on her hand with her heel." Logan and I started growling so loud that Amy and Aunt Gloria had to cover their ears. "I saw red. I would kill Sienna." "That is not all," Amy said. We focused back on her, but we continued to growl quietly. "What else did that bitch do to Emma?" "She threatened to kill her if she didn't back away from Alpha Logan," Amy said, tears falling down her face. "The day after she broke her ribs, Sienna came to her room and attacked her. She lied to you. She didn't walk into her desk. Sienna grabbed her left side, breaking her ribs all over again. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't think. She tried to tell me, and I didn't believe her. If Sienna really did something to her, it was completely my fault. Alpha Logan, Beta Andrew, please don't believe Sienna," Amy said, sobbing. "She did something to her, and if we don't find her, she will kill her. I know it." Logan POV. I didn't want to believe that what Amy was telling us could be true. Sienna was a good person. She would never do these things. I looked at Andrew. He was staring at Amy with a pained expression on his face. I knew that he didn't want to believe it either. We didn't want to believe our friend was a bad person. I couldn't let myself believe it. That would mean I put my mate in danger. And I didn't do that. I could never do that. Amy was wrong. She had to be wrong. "Logan, honey, look at me." My mom spoke. I looked up at her. She was crying. "Honey, I know you don't want to believe it," she said. "I know you will blame yourself for not seeing it sooner. But it is not your fault. She fooled all of us. She turned to Andrew. Andrew, sweetie, it is not your fault either. You have been the best big brother. Your parents would be so proud of you. You made Emma into the amazing person she is today. Sienna tricked you. She played her part perfectly. You couldn't have known. I didn't think my brain was working. I could hear my mom. I could see her. I could hear Amy sobbing. I could see Andrew shaking. But it felt like I was looking at all of them through thick glass. I couldn't clear my mind. Amy! I heard a man's voice behind me. I turned around and saw Jacob. Amy ran to him, and he hugged her tightly. His cold, angry gaze was going from me to Andrew. He walked toward us, clenching his fists. If something happens to her, I want you to know it is your fault. He growled, looking at both of us. How many times did she try to tell you about that bitch? You didn't believe her once. If she is dead, her blood is on your hands. I was staring at him, frozen, speechless. He should be punished. I was his alpha. He couldn't speak to me like that. From the corner of my eye, I saw Andrew getting up. He walked up to Jacob and punched him straight in the nose. I heard bones breaking. My mom and Amy gasped loudly. Jacob was growling, blood coming out of his nose. Take that back, Andrew is yelling. She is not dead. I ran to him and grabbed him from behind, locking my arms around him. She is not dead, I tell him. I would feel it. She is alive, Andrew. He was breathing heavily and shaking. He was growling and his whole body was vibrating. I let go of him, and he walked away from Jacob. What the hell is going on here? Alpha Drake asked as he walked in. His beta and his 5 warriors were right behind him. Sienna kidnapped Emma, Alpha Drake, my mom said, her voice trembling. Drake clenched his fists, and I could see his jaw twitching. I knew it. She is a lying bitch, he growled loudly. Do you believe them, Andrew? I mind-linked my beta. I don't want to, but I do, Logan, he answered. She told me that Sienna would make a mistake and slip up. She knew something like this was going to happen. She knew, and I didn't listen. He continued. I froze in place. I let Sienna manipulate me. I was an alpha and I didn't see a threat that was right in front of me. And my mate was in danger because of it. My shock and denial were quickly replaced with pure rage. I was going to kill Sienna. I was going to rip her apart. I will kill that bitch, I growled loudly, startling everyone. Alpha Logan, I know you are in a state of shock, Drake said, walking up to me. But we need to be calm and collected. You are a great alpha, remember that. I know this is about your mate, but we can't let Sienna know that we are on to her. Alpha Drake is right, Andrew said, taking a deep breath. I have been trying to think like a beta. She couldn't kill Emma because you would know right away, and her story about Emma running away wouldn't be believable. She is keeping her somewhere. And she probably has help. Drake added, someone is with Emma. You can't feel her wolf, and that means they are dosing her with wolfsbane. They are waiting for Sienna's orders. She is planning on killing her, but she is waiting for something. She is waiting for Logan to mark her, my mom said. He wouldn't be able to feel Emma dying if he marked another she-wolf. My heart started beating painfully. My Emma, my mate. I will find you, love. I will do anything to find you. We need to capture her and make her tell us where Emma is, I said. I pushed myself to pull my head out of my ass and start thinking like the fucking alpha I was. My mate was in danger, and she needed me. But we need to make sure she doesn't tip off the fucker who is helping her, I added. I need to get her here and take her down to the interrogation room. She won't be able to mind-link from there. You think her accomplice is a member of the pack? Andrew asked, raising his eyebrows. We could only mind-link with pack members. I don't know. It could be a rogue. But I am not risking shit. She is going down there. I growled. Andrew, Drake and I will interrogate her. Jacob, you search Sienna's house. There has to be something there that will tell us where Emma is. Take her parents to the cellars. Question them as well. Cuff them with silver. I don't want them mind-linking anyone if they are on it. Josh will help him, Drake said, and his beta nodded. My mom and Amy were sitting on the couch holding hands. They were both wiping tears from their faces. Good, I said. Let's go. We are bringing her home. Logan POV. How the hell do I get that bitch here without her suspecting anything? What do I tell her? I asked, turning to Andrew. Josh and Jacob left to go to her house. They will hide and wait close by. When she arrived here and entered the interrogation room, we would link them to start searching the house. Drake, Andrew, and I were sitting in my living room. Mom and Amy went to the kitchen to make themselves some tea. They needed to calm down a bit. We didn't want Sienna to see them here together and suspect something. Tell her you need her after a long, hard day, Drake said. She is desperate to be yours. She will believe it because she wants to hear it. She will think that her plan of removing Emma from your life is finally working. I nodded and sighed. I feel sick doing it. I want to kill her, not have her over. I know, man, Andrew said. Remember that you are doing this for Emma. I took a deep breath and opened my link with Sienna. Sienna, I linked her. Logan, babe, I am so glad to hear your voice, she said. My stomach twisted at the sound of her voice in my head. Leon was growling. He hasn't stopped doing that since Amy told us about Sienna. He was refusing to talk to me. He was just growling, and I could feel how fucking angry he was. Would you like to come over? I asked. I just came back from the forest and I could use your company. Of course, she said, excited. I will be there in 15 minutes. Great, I responded. I am in the living room. Let yourself in. I cut off our link and nodded to Andrew and Drake. She will be here in 15 minutes, I said. How will you get her down there? Drake asked. I decided to make it simple. I sighed. I will tell her that I left my phone down there and ask her to come with me to get it. That should be okay, Andrew said quietly. You guys should go there, in case she comes early, I said. They both nodded and got up. They walked out of the living room and I turned the TV on and pretended to watch. Those 15 minutes it took Sienna to come were the longest of my life. I couldn't stop thinking about Emma. Where was she? Was she cold? Who was with her? Were they hurting her? I would feel if she was hurt, right? The more I thought about it, the more my heart hurt. I heard the front door open, and Sienna's scent hit me. She walked into the living room with a huge smile on her face. I felt pure rage coming on. I wanted to kill her. I needed to kill her. I took a deep breath to control myself and smiled at her. She sat next to me and kissed my cheek. I felt bile rising up. Did you find Emma? She asked with a fake sadness in her voice and on her face. How didn't I notice how fake she was? No, we didn't. I sighed. I guess she really did cross the border. I feel so sorry for Andrew, she said. She became the one thing he hates. I nodded and looked at the TV to calm myself. I couldn't look at her lying face. She sighed and got comfortable on the couch. What are you doing? I was watching TV, I said. But just before you came in, I noticed my phone was missing. I think I left it down in the interrogation room. I left the meeting in a hurry when they notified me that you were hurt. I have to go get it. Come with me? I feel peaceful when you are around. Come on, Sienna. Take the bait. She smiled brightly and nodded. Thank you, goddess. I stood up and took her hand in mine. I pulled her behind me and walked out of the living room. We are coming. I linked Andrew. My heart was beating hard in my chest and I hoped Sienna couldn't hear it. We were just outside the interrogation room. I didn't want her to suspect anything and try to mind-link anyone. I opened the door and pulled Sienna in. I closed the door behind us and locked it. I turned around to see a shocked Sienna staring at Andrew and Drake. Andrew looked so pissed that even I was afraid of it right now. Andrew? Logan? What is going on? Sienna asked, turning to me. Sit the fuck down, I said and walked to her. I pushed her to sit and sat beside her. Drake and Andrew took the chairs opposite us. Where's Emma? Drake asked. She opened her eyes wider. Emma? I told you she ran away. Cut the crap, bitch. Andrew growled. We know every fucking thing you did to her. We know you wanted to get rid of her to have Logan all to yourself. Where the fuck is she? Sienna looked shocked and scared. I don't know what you're talking about. She was fucking lying. I could tell. I looked at the guys and saw that they were thinking the same thing as I was. Sienna, your house is being searched as we speak, I told her. Your parents are down here being cuffed with silver and interrogated. It is only a matter of time when we will find something. It would be better if you cooperated. Let my parents go, she yelled. I didn't do anything. That bitch attacked me and left the pack, and you are taking her side. She is a rogue. She is a traitor. All three of us growled loudly. I grabbed her by the neck. You speak like that about my mate again, and I will make you suffer, I said in a voice so cold I could see her shiver in fear. I let her go and sat back down. I will give you one chance to come clean about everything and tell us where Emma is. If you don't, I will order you to. And I will make it long and painful. Alpha's orders could be painful, especially if you tried to go against it. But we could make it painful just by increasing the intensity of the order. Even if the wolf wasn't fighting it, it hurt them. I didn't like to use my alpha order on my wolves. When I did, the intensity was minimal, just to remind them who the dominant wolf was. But with this bitch, I would use it as a weapon, and I would enjoy each and every moment of it. I am not telling you shit, she growled. I hope he doesn't listen to me and kills her tonight. He said he would make her his before he did. I hope you feel everything, Logan. I hope you will feel your mate being raped and killed tonight. I saw red. Leon was going insane. He would ohm out and goddess help Sienna when he did. But before I could do anything, I heard Andrew's terrifying growl and a fist flew into Sienna's face. She fell off the chair and groaned. Andrew stood up and walked to her, but Drake stopped him. You can't kill her yet, he screamed at him. We need her to tell us everything. I got up and grabbed her. I placed her back on the chair. If I feel one hair being hurt on Emma's head, you will suffer hard. That is a promise. I growled. She looked at me with fear in her eyes. I gave you a chance. You didn't take it, I said. Sienna Jones, I order you to tell me everything you know about the disappearance of Emma Parker, and I order you to tell me where she is. My order was so intense that even Andrew and Drake bowed their heads slightly, even though my order wasn't directed at them and Drake was an alpha, and it shouldn't have affected him. But that's how strong my order was. Sienna whimpered in pain, but she stared, talking. She had no other choice. Andrew POV. Under the influence of Logan's order, Sienna had to tell us everything. Every word she said to Emma. Everything she did. I felt like I was standing there, watching. With every word that came out of her mouth, my urge to kill her grew. When she told us that she had told Emma that I think she is a burden, I lost it. You said what? I growled through my teeth. Let me out, Andrew. Asher screamed in my head, clawing to get out. I am going to kill her, Asher growled. Not yet, Asher, I screamed at him. She has to tell us where Emma is first. I walked up to Sienna. She was struggling against Logan's order, and she was only making it more painful for herself. She was wincing in pain, and I was enjoying it. I keeled in front of her and got in her face. It took all my strength not to dip my fangs into her throat and rip it out. If she believed what you said, I will kill you so slowly you will be begging me to die, I said slowly. She winced, but a moment later I saw her smirk. If she believed me, It is your fault, she said. You were a terrible brother. She tried to tell you about me so many times. You never believed her and everything she said was true. I growled and went to grab her neck, but before I could, Drake pulled me back. Not yet, Andrew, he said, holding me back. I ran my hand through my hair. She was right. I was a terrible brother. I chose to believe Sienna over my own sister. I didn't want to believe that my friend, the person I grew up with, could do that. I always thought that Emma was jealous. Logan, Sienna, and I were always together. We were older than Emma was, and we had different interests and topics. And when Logan and I took over the pack, we became even closer and busier, always doing what the pack needed. Sienna was always there to support us, and she always understood everything. I just thought Emma wanted to spend more time with me, and she was angry she couldn't. I just thought that Sienna being around all the time made her jealous. It made sense at the time. Now I see how wrong I was. And my mistake hurt my sister, my pup. Logan intensified the order and Sienna cried out, "Continue talking, bitch!" Logan growled. He hasn't said a word since Sienna started talking, but I saw he was on the edge. Asher told me Leon was completely unhinged. I had no idea how Logan managed to control him. Sienna continued talking. She told us how she told Emma that Logan hated her and how he would think she betrayed the pack by becoming a rogue. Logan started shaking, but he didn't lose it like I did. Once he did, Goddess helped Sienna. He would rip her apart. And I would help him. She proceeded to tell us how that filthy rogue wolf stabbed a needle full of wolfsbane into Emma's neck and she fainted. After that, Rogue hit Sienna so she could sell her lie about Emma hitting her and running away. He took Emma away, and Sienna waited 3 hours before she tried to mind-link Logan. "Where is Emma?" Logan growled and increased the intensity of his order. "I don't know," Sienna whimpered. "What?" I froze. She didn't know? Logan, Drake, and I exchanged worried glances. "Sienna, don't make me torture you." Logan growled, turning back to her. "Where is she?" "I swear I don't know," she cried out. "Rogue said he would hide her well. He told me there was a cave well hidden on the north side of the forest, but I don't know where it is exactly." "How the hell were you two supposed to exchange information?" Logan growled, clenching his fists. "He said that he would come find me," she said. "When?" I asked. "I don't know," she said. "We didn't set a date on purpose. I thought it would be best to not know. If I was ever caught like I am now, I didn't want to make it easy for you." She smirked, and the three of us lost it. We growled so loudly that the entire room shook. Sienna covered her ears and whimpered. "Fuck! How the hell were we going to find her? That area was huge." "How the hell did a rogue get on my territory?" Logan asked Sienna. "Oh, please." She rolled her eyes. "I know everything about patrols and shifts. It was easy to get him in here without them noticing. That's how I have been getting out of the territory as well. I had to find a wolf willing to help me. And Rolf was more than willing to after he saw Emma." Asher growled loudly. "You were such a bitch, Sienna," Drake said. "Why did you do all that?" I asked. "What has Emma ever done to you?" She narrowed her eyes at me and growled. "Are you kidding me?" she said through her teeth. "Little Miss Perfect had everything. The two of you always protected her and loved her. You never protected or loved me the way you did her. And after it turned out Logan wasn't my mate, my gut told me he would be hers. I thought I would be okay with that if you, Andrew, turned out to be my mate. You would finally love me more than her. But it turned out you were not my mate, Andrew. And when I found out that Logan and Emma really were mates, I lost it. She had to go. I realized that as long as she is in our lives, you will never love me like you were supposed to." "Goddess?" I had no idea what to say to her. She was completely insane. Logan was just staring at her, and I could tell he was as speechless as I was. "I did it for us," Sienna said seriously. "I did it for our love. I am better than her for you. You will see that now that she is out of our lives. You completely lost it, I whispered in disbelief. I am done listening to you, Logan growled. I am going to find her, and after I do, I will kill you. I won't do it now because I want you to see her coming home, safe and protected. Then you will die. Logan walked to the door, and Drake and I started following him. Sienna growled. No, I am better than her. She will never come back. Never. She will die. We walked out of the room, and Logan told the guard to chain Sienna to the chair. The guard quickly left to follow his alpha's order. After he came back, Logan locked the door and placed the key inside his pocket. Nobody comes in here but me, Logan ordered the guard. We quickly left the cellar and headed toward Logan's office to plan our search. Logan POV. It had been 4 fucking days since Emma went missing. We have been searching the area where Sienna said that the rogue took her. We found nothing. I was going insane. I haven't slept since she went missing. I was angry and irritable. My pack was leaving me alone, and the only time anyone spoke to me was when they had news about the search. I attacked one of my warriors the day after she went missing. It was an accident, of course. He was fine. A couple of broken ribs that healed quickly, but it was enough for everybody to keep their distance now. Everybody except Drake and Andrew. Andrew was as pissed off as I was. He hadn't been sleeping as well. We were out there in the woods, searching, and we came home once a day only to eat something. Leon hadn't been talking to me at all. He was either growling or whining, but he refused to talk to me. I knew that he would love to stick his claws up my ass. He blamed me for Emma's disappearance, and I didn't think he would talk to me until I found her. We still haven't searched here, I think, Drake mumbled and pointed to a location on a map. Drake, Andrew, and I were in my office looking at a map of the area and trying to figure out a location we still hadn't searched. This would be so much easier if we could catch just a whiff of her scent. Andrew growled. Sienna said he is dosing her with wolfsbane and he is probably using a masking spray on himself, Drake said. We won't be able to smell her. I know, Andrew sighed and ran his hand through his hair. I walked up to Drake and looked down at the location on a map he is pointing at. We searched that area yesterday. I frowned. Shit, he said and sat down. We have to find her. I narrowed my eyes at him. I was grateful he was helping us, but his worry for my mate was getting on my nerves. Why are you so worried about her? I snapped at him. She is mine. He looked up at me and frowned. Since when? The last time I checked, you rejected her. I clenched my fists and gritted my teeth together. I would kill him. Enough, Andrew interfered. Logan, we are lucky he is here. He helped a lot. Drake, you know damn well that rejection doesn't erase the bond. So unless you want Logan to lose it, don't challenge his claim on her. Drake and I glared at each other. I knew that Andrew was right. Drake being here was really helpful. He had great ideas, and he was the only one with a clear head. I'm sorry, Logan. Drake sighed. Andrew is right. I'm just protective of her. I don't know her well, but I can tell she is an amazing she-wolf. She grabbed my heart as soon as I met her. If she really is a white wolf, she will be Luna to all of us, and that means she will be my Luna as well. And I will protect her. Always. She is amazing, isn't she? I wanted to tear myself apart. How did I not see that sooner? How could I ever think she was not strong enough? I am an idiot, I mumbled. Yes, you are, Drake said. You better hope she forgives you. She will, Andrew said quietly. She will forgive you and she will forgive me. If she doesn't, I don't know how I will continue on. She will forgive you, man, Drake told him. You are her brother. Andrew closed his eyes and leaned back on the chair he was sitting on. Would she ever forgive me? She could always choose someone else. She could reject me. She could accept Jake's proposal. Or Drake's. I was sure that he wasn't kidding when he said he would take her as his chosen mate. Just thinking about other men touching what was mine made my blood boil. I would do everything I could to make sure that she forgave me. She was mine. Over my dead body will another man ever have her. I will not let that happen. Loud knocking interrupted my thoughts. "Come in," I growled. One of my warriors rushed inside. He was out of breath and he was looking at me wide-eyed. "What?" I snapped at him. "Alpha, Beta, Alpha Drake." He greeted us, breathing heavily. "Our trackers spotted a rogue wolf in the forest while they were searching. They said he disappeared into the ground. They think there could be an underground hiding place. They are there, waiting for your orders, Alpha." Andrew and Drake bolted out of their seats. My heart started beating faster. Leon started pacing nervously. That had to be him. "Where are they?" Andrew growled. The warrior walked to the map and pointed at the location. We had been searching there for days, and she was right under our feet. Fuck. The three of us ran out of my office, my warrior following behind us. We shifted immediately and started running. We had quite a distance to cover, but at the pace we were running, we should get there in half the time normal wolves would take. As I was running, all I could think about was having her in my arms. It has been 5 fucking days since I last saw her, last smelled her, last touched her. I couldn't take it anymore. I needed her. I needed to see her. I needed to touch her. I will rip that rogue apart for keeping her away from me. I will kill Sienna for taking her away from me. They will regret the day they decided to hurt her. After an hour of running, we arrived at the location. We shifted quickly and put on the shorts that my warriors handed us. "Alpha, Beta, Alpha Drake." One of my warriors addressed us. "Sam." I nodded. "Show us where he disappeared." Sam walked further away, pointing at the forest floor. At the first glance, there was nothing. But when I looked closer, I saw a handle made of rope. It was well hidden. Leaves and branches were covering it, making it look like there was nothing there. I turned to look at Andrew. He was nervous, and I could tell that Asher wanted to take over. "We go inside quietly," I said to everybody. "Do not kill the rogue. I want him alive and taken to the dungeons. Andrew and I will take care of Emma. Nobody else touches her. Understood?" I heard a bunch of, "Yes, Alpha," before turning around and pulling on the rope handle. The door opened, revealing nothing but darkness. I ducked inside and let my eyes adjust to the darkness. Emma POV. I didn't know how long I had been here. I was constantly surrounded by darkness. I woke up a few times only to be beaten. His fists came into contact with every part of my body. He told me that I deserved it because I almost took what belonged to Sienna. He was dosing me with wolfsbane, so I knew that I wasn't healing. If he didn't kill me soon, I would die from blood loss. I hoped that he would kill me soon. I didn't want to be here anymore. I didn't want him to touch me again. I kind of liked the darkness. He wasn't beating me when I was in the dark. He wasn't screaming at me when I was in the dark. His hands weren't touching me when I was in the dark. There wasn't physical pain when I was in the dark. But my thoughts were deafening. I couldn't stop thinking about my brother. I wished that I could tell him that I loved him just one more time. I wish that he would know I did not become a rogue. I wish that he wouldn't hate me. But at the same time, I was angry. He didn't believe me. He chose Sienna just like Logan did. Andrew and Asher love us? Eliza whined. I was so glad that I could still talk to her. I shouldn't have been able to. The wolfsbane should have kept her locked deep in my mind. I didn't feel her. I didn't see her. But I could talk to her sometimes. She said it was because we were strong. She broke down the wolfsbane barrier when she felt that I needed her. I didn't know how. Maybe she was not even here. Maybe that was just my mind playing tricks on me, making it easier for me to lie here in the dark, waiting for death. I know they do, I said to Eliza. It just hurts, Eliza. Andrew didn't believe me. He chose her. He made a mistake, she said. We all make mistakes. We do. I sighed, and I will forgive him. I am just sad he will never know what really happened. You need to stay strong, Emma. Eliza whined. They will come for us. They think I ran away and became a rogue, I growled. They are not looking for me. And even if they are looking for me to kill me for betraying my pack and attacking a future Luna. Asher and Leon won't believe Sienna, Eliza said sternly. They hate her. They will talk some sense into Andrew and Logan. I closed my eyes and I felt a tear rolling down my face. I wish that I could believe that. I wish that were true. I wish that Eliza could live on. She didn't deserve this. I am sorry, Eliza, I said with a teary voice. Why are you apologizing? She whined. You don't have to apologize for anything. I do, I said. You don't deserve this. You should live on, not die here with me. Your mate shouldn't have rejected you. You should have a better, stronger human counterpart, not me. I have caused you nothing but pain. I am sorry. I love you, Eliza. Stop it, she growled. We are not dying here. You are the only human I want. You are the strongest human. Just hold on a little bit longer. We will get out of here. I didn't respond. I just kept staring into the darkness. I can't hold on much longer, Emma. She whined. Be strong. I love you. I felt her slipping away and a quiet sob escaped me. I was alone again. Maybe that was for the better. I was glad that she couldn't feel or see what he was doing to me. She didn't deserve that. Suddenly, I felt like I was being pulled away from the darkness. I was waking up again. Well, hello there, little wolf. I could hear the rogue's voice. Welcome back. I blinked a few times and looked around me. We were still in a cave. I was lying on a cold floor and my dried blood was all around me. The rogue was sitting opposite me, leaning on the wall. I looked at him and he was smirking. His beard was long and frizzy. His cold black eyes were staring at me. He was covered in dirt and he had that unique rogue smell. It has been 4 days, if you're wondering, he said. Your brother is not looking for you. They are preparing a Luna ceremony. That means Sienna will be marked soon, and I will finally have you for myself before I kill you. I felt tears falling down my face and into my hair. They weren't looking for me. They believed her. They thought that I became a rogue. Andrew hated me. My heart was breaking. A quiet sob escaped me. I didn't know why it hurt so much. I already knew this. I already knew that they chose Sienna. I already knew that my brother hated me. Why did it hurt so much? Don't cry, little wolf. The rogue laughed. It'll be over soon. A few more days and you won't be a burden anymore. Not to your brother, not to your mate, and not to Sienna. His words were like a knife stabbing at my heart, but I knew he was right. I have been nothing but a burden. Andrew was finally free. Logan was free to mate with the one he wants. Soon I would be free too. I would see my mom and dad. I would be at peace. I closed my eyes and let the tears roll down my face. I heard the rogue getting up. He walked over to me and knelt beside me. I opened my eyes and saw a needle in his hand. You have been awake too long, little wolf, he said quietly. It is time to sleep again. I felt a needle pierce my skin and a burning feeling of wolfsbane spread through me. The rogue leaned in and took a deep breath. You smell amazing. I can't wait to make you mine. I felt his hand going under my hoodie. His claws cut my skin, and I felt blood rolling down my body. Darkness was close again. I couldn't wait for darkness. There was no pain there. Maybe Eliza would talk to me again. Before I was completely in the dark again, I heard blood-chilling growls. I tried to open my eyes to see who growled, but the darkness was stronger. Andrew POV. I was walking behind Logan and Drake was right beside me. My eyes adjusted to the dark and I could see cave walls around us. The smell is awful. I can smell rogues, dirt, and blood. My whole body was shaking. I hadn't slept for days. I needed my sister beside me. I didn't know what I would do if she wasn't here, but I knew that I would never stop looking for her. I would find her. The further we walked, the stronger the smell of blood was. I could smell wolfsbane as well. It was burning my nose. I could hear whispers. There was definitely someone here. Your skin is so soft. I heard a voice say. Maybe I could keep you. I could lie and tell Sienna I killed you, but have you all to myself. As soon as we heard that bitch's name, Logan, Drake, and I started running. And seconds later we came to an opening. There was a fire burning in one corner, and the space had that soft orange glow. What I saw there had me seeing red. Logan and I growled loudly. The sound was bouncing off of cave walls, making our growls even louder. There was a small body lying on the floor surrounded by dried and fresh blood. Emma. Rolf was leaning over her, his hand was under her shirt, and his eyes were fixed on us. Before he could blink, Logan and I ran into him, throwing him off of her. Drake grabbed him and pinned him against the wall. I knew that my warriors were behind us, but I couldn't hear anything except our growls and our fists hitting that fucker. I saw red and I wanted to kill him. The expression on Logan's face was terrifying. I had never seen him this angry. I was hitting him, and I didn't ever want to stop. He touched my sister. He took my sister away from me. I would make him pay. I would make him suffer. Alpha, Beta, I heard someone calling me with a trembling voice. I stopped hitting the fucker and turned around. I was met with the worried eyes of one of our warriors. He was telling me something, but I couldn't focus. I could only hear the blood pumping inside my veins. I looked behind the warrior and I saw Jacob keeling beside Emma, holding her face in his hands. Tears were rolling down his cheeks, and he was telling her something. I was pulled out of my trance and I ran to her. Emma, I yelled and pulled her to me. She was beaten and bloody. Her skin was pale and she was so cold. Her eyes were closed and she was not answering me. Her blood was running from her belly and her hoodie was soaked. Why wasn't she answering me? Andrew, she's barely breathing. I heard Jacob's trembling voice. I looked up at him and he reached for her. I pulled her closer to me. He wasn't taking her away. She is barely breathing and her pulse is weak, Andrew, Jacob yelled. We need to move her, now. Drake came to stand beside Andrew. He gasped when he saw the state she was in. My whole body was shaking. I looked down at her and noticed that her chest was barely moving. She was dying. She was dying in my arms. No! I took her in my arms and stood up. I started running outside, but Logan pulled me back. Give her to me, he growled loudly. His chest was rising and falling rapidly. His hands were reaching for her and his eyes were fixed on me. I didn't want to give her to him, but I knew that Leon would kill me if I didn't. Logan was more like a wolf than a man right now, and he was dangerous. Another man was touching his mate, a mate he hadn't seen or felt for 4 days, a mate that was dying. It didn't matter that I was her brother. Leon didn't care. And I knew that the mate bond would help her heal. The mate bond might be the only way she could stay alive until we got her to the Pack hospital. I placed her in his arms and he pulled her close, breathing in her scent. I saw a tear rolling down his cheek. Don't leave me, love, he whispered as he started running with her. Please don't leave me. I turned around and saw our warriors cuffing Rolf with silver chains. He was beaten and covered in blood, but the bastard was still breathing. Not for long, though. Take him to the cellars, I ordered. Dose him with wolfsbane. I don't want him to heal. I will stay and deal with him, Drake said, looking pissed off. I will meet you at the Pack hospital. I nodded to him, turned around, and ran outside. Logan had already shifted, and our warriors were securing Emma on his back. He would get to the pack hospital faster if he was in his wolf form. I shifted quickly, and I started running beside Logan. I kept glancing at Emma, making sure that she didn't fall off Leon's back. I didn't think we could run faster than we did when we were running to find her, but somehow we managed to arrive at the pack hospital in less than 45 minutes. Emma was still barely breathing when we arrived. Her pulse was even weaker. I was sure that the only reason she wasn't dead was the mate bond. Dr. Adams came running toward us. He gasped when he saw the state Emma was in. "Oh my goddess, Emma!" he yelled and pulled her from Leon's back. Leon started growling, but the doctor ignored him. He took Emma in his arms and ran inside. A nurse came and handed each of us a pair of shorts. Logan and I shifted, got dressed, and ran inside. Emma was lying on a bed. Dr. Adams was cutting her hoodie with a pair of scissors. He was giving orders to the nurses that I couldn't even hear. I could only focus on her pale face. Her pink lips were now white. Her eyes were shut tightly. I needed her to open them. I needed to see how blue they are. The nurse came to stand in front of us. She was speaking, but I couldn't hear her. "Beta Andrew?" Her voice finally broke through. "Beta Andrew, we need you and Alpha to wait outside," she said. "We will take good care of Emma. But it is hard to focus when Alpha is growling at us. The doctor needs to touch her." Logan was growling? I looked at him and he was shaking. He was on the verge of shifting. Deep, menacing growls were coming from him, and he was staring at Dr. Adams. I grabbed his arm. "Logan, you need to calm down. He needs to touch her. He is helping her. Let's go outside." "I'm staying," he growled at me. "Alpha, please," doctor said. "I need to focus. And it is hard to do that with your alpha aura in the room. I won't hurt her." Logan growled, but he let me pull him outside to the waiting room. We sat down on the chairs and I placed my head in my hands. She couldn't leave me. She couldn't die. What would I do without her? Logan POV. I was sitting in the fucking waiting room, staring at a white wall. I don't think I have ever been in so much pain. I don't think I have ever been this angry. I wanted to kill. I could taste Rolf's and Sienna's blood on my tongue. They would suffer. When I saw Emma laying there, all beaten and covered in blood, with that fucker touching her, I felt a wave of anger like never before. Leon turned into a monster. He was no longer a wolf. He will rip Rolf and Sienna apart when I let him. "Logan!" My mom's panicked voice pulled me from my thoughts. I stood up and hugged her. I needed it. I needed my mom to tell me that everything was going to be okay. "How is she?" Amy asked with a trembling voice, looking at Andrew. "I don't know." He sighed, leaning against the wall. She was barely breathing when we found her. Amy sobbed, and my mom gasped loudly. "She will be okay," I said with a shaky voice. "She has to be okay." "She will be," I heard a voice behind me say. "She is the strongest person I know." It was Jacob. As soon as I saw him, a wave of jealousy hit me like a fucking train. What the hell was he doing here? I narrowed my eyes at him and clenched my fists. He walked over to Amy and hugged her. She was sobbing into his chest. "It is okay, Amy," he said. "She will be okay. She is my strong girl." I saw red. "You're a strong girl," I growled loudly. "All due respect, Alpha. She is mine," he said calmly. "You had your chance and you ruined it. I asked her to be my chosen mate and I hope she will say yes." I was shaking and I was on the verge of shifting. What the fuck was he talking about? He wasn't taking her away from me. She was mine. I growled loudly and lunged at him. I was stopped by two strong hands. Andrew held me back. "Stop," Andrew growled. "Jacob, leave." "Beta Andrew." "No," Jacob said. "My mate is inside and I am not leaving." I was growling and Leon was in full control now. I would shift and rip him into pieces if he didn't leave. Jacob, the mate bond between Logan and Emma is not broken, Andrew said, squeezing me tighter. Until Emma accepts you and you mark her, she is not your mate. She is Logan's. And if you continue, I will not be able to hold him back. You know how possessive wolves are over their mates. And Logan is an alpha. You are digging yourself a very deep grave by being here right now. I was taking deep breaths. I hadn't stopped growling. I am killing that fucker, Leon screamed. He is not taking my mate. She is mine. Jacob, honey, I know you love her, my mom said, and stood in front of Jacob. But you need to leave. Emma wouldn't want to hear you two fighting when she wakes up. Amy will let you know when you can come back and see her. He's not going anywhere near her, I yelled. Logan, he is her friend, my mom said, and turned her head to give me a stern look. She will want to see him. You can't forbid them from seeing each other. Fine, Jacob said. I will leave, but I will come back. I growled, and he gave me an annoyed look. This pup had some balls. I was his alpha. I could kill him for looking at me like that. He hugged Amy and kissed her cheek. Link me when she wakes up, he said before walking out. Andrew let me go and I ran my hand through my hair. This pup has some balls, I growled. He loves her, Logan, my mom said, walking over to sit beside Andrew. She is his friend. I am happy she has somebody like him to protect her. He stood up to an alpha for her. He must really love her. I growled and narrowed my eyes at her, but before I could tell her what I thought about his love, the door to Emma's room flung open. The nurse came running out, her eyes roaming on all of us before she stopped on Andrew. Beta, we need your blood, she said loudly. Andrew jumped up and ran toward the room. The nurse ran behind him, but I stopped her. Wait, I yelled. What is going on? She lost a lot of blood, she said, turning to me. She couldn't heal from all the wolfsbane. I have to go back, Alpha. I nodded, and she ran back inside. I sat back down, leaned on the wall, and closed my eyes. There were no words to describe how I was feeling. I was afraid of losing her. I was angry. I was jealous. I needed my mate. I needed to feel her. I needed to breathe in her delicious scent. She was the only one who could calm me down right now. I felt somebody sit beside me. I opened my eyes and looked to my left. Everything will be okay, sweetie, my mom said, and took my hand in hers. I don't know what I will do if she rejects me, Mom, I said quietly. She won't reject you, she said with confidence. You are her mate. She loves you. I haven't been a very good mate, I said. No, you haven't, she said seriously. But you will talk to her. You will apologize. You will do everything you can to win her back. And you will wait as long as you have to win back her trust. And most importantly, you will respect her decision, even if she decides not to be with you. My heart was breaking just thinking about not having Emma. My blood boiled thinking about another man touching her. My mom was right. I had to do everything I could to win her back. She was mine.